Asha, Xbox, new day, same pain. Hard choices on the table, they be playing games. Booty in the back, they let another round. Took the whole damn promise, and it never touched ground. I should've read the memo, eyes cold, no smile. Not again, not today, not the style. She got the receipt, she got the name. Every broken deadline got a mark, got a stain. Too many delays, too many waits. Asha don't fold, she don't shake. One more excuse, that crate get shook. She coming for the top. Just look, just look. I should cut it out, I should shut it down. Booty playing games, now the game ran out. I should cut it out, I should shut it down. Xbox in the process, take the whole thing down. Take it down. They said soon again, but soon never came. Same slick talk, same tight name. I should got patience, but it ain't that deep. When the whole lane stalling, she can't sleep. Hard choices made, she don't need a board. One hand on the truth, one hand on the sword. If you keep on dragging what was promised to fly, then I should hit the switch and let the whole thing die. Too many delays, too many waits. Asha don't fold, she don't shake. One more excuse, that crate get shook. She coming for the top. Just look, just look. I should cut it out, I should shut it down. Booty playing games, now the game ran out. I should cut it out, I should shut it down. Xbox in the process, take the whole thing down. Take it down. Quiet in the room, then the room go cold. I should got a plan and it don't need gold. No more maybe, no more fake delay. If you drop the ball, she take it away. I should cut it out, I should shut it down. Booty playing games, now the game ran out. I should cut it out, I should shut it down. Xbox in the process, take the whole thing down. Take it down. Yeah. Yeah. Now Xbox got booty and ball, leading the way for their future. Talk big, move funny, sell us a dream, then drop the ball. We seen the rollout, we seen the mask flip clear as day. Whole thing feels cooked from the first week pitch to the last empty call. You had one job, keep it real. You had one shot, don't miss the field. But you packed up what made it hot. Now everybody knows it's not. What a joke, what a joke, what a joke. Booty and ball ain't the move. What a joke, what a joke, what a joke. You lit the room and killed the groove. Yeah, fans want grit, fans won't care, fans want something they can trust. Now shiny talking brand new names slapped on top of rust. You could've built, you could've kept, you could've learned from the past. Instead it slides in corporate grins and a promise built to crash. You had one job, keep it real. You had one shot, don't miss the field. But you packed up what made it hot. Now everybody knows it's not. What a joke, what a joke, what a joke. Booty and ball ain't the move. What a joke, what a joke, what a joke. You lit the room, then killed the groove. Say it straight, don't sugarcoat. This ain't progress, this is smoke. They had the will, then lost the plot. Now all we got is what they not. What a joke, what a joke, what a joke. Booty and ball, they can move. What a joke, what a joke, what a joke. You lit the room and killed the groove.
Oh, man, what is up, grinders? How you doing? It is Monday night. You are banging on the doors. I know. I came running to the DJ booth of the Gaming Grindhouse to start the show, so I apologize for being a few minutes late, but the grinders are cooking. Yo, it is crazy. I even jumped on Twitter just a few seconds just to see what's going on, and it is Hellblade, hell and fire. Grinders, it is a disaster out there. It is a mess. Xbox is gutting everything. It is a deep fire sale, and they're not even selling stuff. We have so much to talk about tonight. The topics are just coming in. So grinders, keep it cooking. Hit that like button, and I'm gonna do the shout outs, and we're gonna get right into the show. But we had some awesome grinders that were chatting and gifting while you were waiting. We got Mr. D with the 5 VIPs, sending people to the balcony. We are going to be doing a balcony show. We also have Toolman, who just went back to the ultimate grinders. Somebody asking who the music is from. I make it all. I make all the music based on the topics. I curate it. I make sure that the lyrics cook, and I make the music, and the VIPs get some of the music. The ultimate grinders get everything. So a whole batch is going to be sent out to the ultimate grinders. And VIPs, you will get some of them as well. But those are Gaming Grindhouse true exclusives. I hear you. That's my music from here, Gaming Grindhouse. That's why when you see those double G's coming in, where are they? This is Gaming Grindhouse music. So if you have a VIP, go listen to them. They're all videos. I have uploaded them there. Ultimate Grinders, get them all there. The music grinders there. And thank you, Toolman, for being an ultimate grinder. And then we got Glassnode Gamer with the 5. He goes, good competition is good. After 25 years, Xbox needs to get the F out of here. Their best gen was the 360, and what did they do after? Decided to spy on people. Shameless. Dude, it is ridiculous. It is, and again, I gave you flowers on the last show. I've given everybody flowers again here at the Gaming Grindhouse. You were all right. We've been talking about this for 6 friggin' years. But I never thought it would amount to this. I thought at least Game Pass would go away and it would get there. And we knew when it was acquisition. There's so much to talk about. We knew when it was acquisition season, these clowns celebrating buy up everybody, buy. And look at what's happening now. Oh my God, it is a bloodbath. It is a bloodbath. It's such a bloodbath, grinders, that I'm actually having to change the chat background. I am changing the chat background, grinders. For this bloodbath, we had the background. Here it is. Asha did give you a new logo. It's an Xbox covered in blood. That's what it is. So there's your new background for the chat. It is an Xbox blood background because it is a disaster, a train wreck. Then don't let me tell you.
It was a disaster, Ryan. It was a train wreck. It was a disaster, Ryan. It was a train.
It's a train wreck. And that was Fable. That was Peter Molyneux talking about Fable. So, grinders, we got so much to cook. Keep them coming. I'm going to get everybody's chats. I'll get all the jewels, and we're going to be cooking tonight. So we got hot topics here. We got Satya's interview. We're going to get his little blurb of what he finally said. He came out of his Satya shell, not stuttering anymore, and he really dropped the bomb. After all these years, he dropped the bomb, actually how he really felt about Xbox. You could dress him up all you want. Dude, don't give a shit about Xbox. And then we got top executives, Craig Duncan and more, just leave Xbox. Dude, top people, head of studios, it's gone. Done. Then the studio shutdowns. At the time I wrote this, there were a couple that were now. Now we got more. And there's more to come. This is the next 100 days. And then Satya wants out the plan history. This is so scary. I did a lot of research on this. I have a bunch of tabs here. And I wanted to show you how crazy this has been and how eerie it is leading up to 2026. And we'll go through a little bit of timeline, but what was done, we got to talk about the last decade of Satya and what happened with Xbox. And there is a book to write somewhere. And I know we covered it for all these years. But, man, I thank you, everybody, for hanging in there and sticking with the Gaming Grindhouse. And shout out to Toolman for the 5 VIPs in the house. Thank you so much, Toolman in the house. Then we got Silver Wolf giving out the coins. He's giving out jewels. He's giving out the Fable coins. He has 10 jewels and another 10 jewels. And then Anonymous Boss is doing the jewel train. He's doing a jewel train. Anonymous Boss going wild. He's sending 2 jewels and 2 jewels and 200s for 2 jewels to 2 jewels to keep going. He's sending the jewels. He wants people to start dancing. He wants some, he's throwing money in the friggin', he's throwing money in the jukebox. He's throwing money in the jukebox. He wants one of those classics. I know what you want, Anonymous Boss. I know. I see all the jewels. You want this one. Here you go, Grinders. Here's a classic for you.
And Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades, and they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Smash 2, Ground, Shroom and Doom.
And I know what you really want. Don John just sent the laughing disco ball, and Anonymous is throwing more jewels out there. I know what you really want. And then we have Alana. We got Glinza with the 2. He goes, Axa Shama gave in the X to Xbox employees. Yowzers. Yo, she's the Ashinator. I told you. And Anonymous Boss, member of 21 months as a VIP grinder. After he just did the jewel train, he just said the real jazz, not the bootleg jazz. Let's go, baby, and let's go, Grinders. You've been all right. All of you in the chat have been right. It is all... It is not celebratory in the sense of people going to lose their jobs, but the fact that we warned it, we spoke, and we kept exactly what we were saying the entire time, consistent, and what was going to happen, and now it's all coming down. It's all coming down, and I know Anonymous Boss is throwing more jewels in there. I know what he wants. He wants them. Get him in here. Get Groban in here. Hit it, Groban.
Grab your control.
$80 billion. $80 billion.
Xbox, take your seat. We're always last in the race, and we will always be beat. Then spend more cash, make ourselves complete.
$80 billion.
Yeah.
Tell him, Groban.
We need $80 billion. Gotta make a splash. To be relevant, we'll go all out, no holding back. Led by Philness and Booty, we'll bring the games everywhere. No more sucking, it's time to show we care. Let's start by bringing Pentiment. Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi, Russian grounded games over to PlayStation and Switch. And we will say that exclusives don't matter anymore. And then wait when we get Starfield ready for the pitch. Big Booty Bobby and Lulu walked out with the bag, and now we're left with all these IPs. What the hell are we supposed to do?
Amazing. I can't believe how truthful that song is now. Josh Groban been cooking the hits, and he said, with all these IPs, what are we supposed to do? And we're finding exactly what they're supposed to do. So, my goodness, $80 billion. $80 billion. We got Ron. Ron got a 1 VIP in the house. I got to add it now to the list. We are, and the Grinders, let's let you know, we'll do these, these community game nights here at the Grindhouse that we do, the Game and Grinds, where I open up the chat. They have been popping off, man. We're over 1,000 views on gameplay views. Over 1,200, I think, on the last one. These gaming community game nights where I open up the Grindhouse and we just chat it up. If you're on PlayStation, jump on the chat. I'm going to try to see if I could do it with Discord, but right now it's only on PlayStation. And, dude, you're loving them. Our next goal will be another community game night. So we hit the 400 VIPs. We're doing a community game night, Grinders. And then also all the VIPs. If you have a little logo next to your name, you're going to be in the balcony show, and that is going to be a banger considering what we're doing here. This is craziness right now. So, yo, what's up, AK Do Sensible Outside Gaming Night? Maddie Beast, Monte White, Ron MC in the house. Ron, I was talking to Ron. Ron joined us for the last community game night. Shout out to Ron. He was on the last one. We got True SSJ Havoc in the house. Major Clears. Denton, it's a full house tonight. All the grinders. Maddie Beast. We got Space Monkey, Silver Grizzle, John Wayne. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, grinders. We are growing. We're not like Game Pass. We are growing. We don't have that problem. The Coon 1985 is here. The true Game Pass song. He knows. He's one of the OGs. He knows. X Shadow Link in the house. He says, give me a shout out. I got you. Shadow Link, I got you. And Shadow Link, let me tell you something about Shadow Link. He wants a shout out. He's going to get something better than a shout out. Let me tell you something. Shadow Link went to, well, I think it was Shadow Link, or maybe Springfield Chaser. One of you guys with an S. I think it's Springfield Chaser. Sorry, Shadow Link. I knew it was somebody else. Springfield Chaser went back to an old grindhouse from about 4 years ago where I was talking, me and Frogs were talking about the ABK acquisition. And I went back and listened to it, and he timestamped it. Yo, it scares the hell out of me. Springfield Chaser, shout out to you. Go back and watch those videos. It's crazy. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to put it out there for the as a short for you guys to listen, because it is crazy about what I was saying, how they're going to repackage stuff that we're already getting. And if you notice, the background for the chat is the Xbox bloodbath that it is. And it is a friggin' disaster right now. And so we are ready to go. And we're going to get Satya's interview. I have him queued up. Where's that Satya-ness? Over here, because we're going to ready to go. Because now everybody that said Asha was doing something different and doing something different, and Satya just activated Order 66. The evil emperor, Satya Nadella, just activated Order 66 right after that fan fest. That's what he said. He said right after that fan fest, the whole wall's green. What the hell? Holy shit! Shadow League with the 50 bomb! Taking us to community game night! Oh, shit!
Thank you
Yo!
for the VIP membership.
Yo, hit the... Holy crumb buns! And Anonymous Boss keeps dropping coin! Oh! He got friggin' G-Dub! Yo, it's going deep! Retro Boss Weezard! Yo, that balcony is shaking. That balcony is friggin' shaking, dude. Ow! Dude, that is friggin' crazy. Oh my god, man. Oh man. Yo, he just said we're gonna get to that goal. Right now, you're doing a community game night. Shadow, you better be in there now. Okay, jump on that PlayStation. I want you on there. You're gonna be on there, man. You gotta be on that thing. Holy shit, grinders. And then the Anonymous Boss keeps dropping the jewels, man. I hear cha-ching, cha-ching. Yo, grinders, we're gonna cook tonight, man. We are ready. We're getting ready to cook. Get them. All right, community game night is on. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we hit that goal. So therefore, hey, I don't know. I guess I'll do, we'll just move the needle since he already did it. But you got one in the books. We'll just do that. If anybody coming on in here wants to do a member train here, because that balcony show, I'm going to do it. So if you got the VIPs, I want you on the balcony show. I will have a DJ session, and we're going to talk, and you come with the news. So thank you so much, Shadowlink. I really appreciate it, man. So we got a community night locked in, and you're welcome to come on, Shadowlink. There you go. You are in. Yeah, you welcome. Come on in, man. You got that community game night. Dude, it's crazy. Woo! The truth shall set you free, grinders. Yo, and thanks to Anonymous Boss for dropping the coins in there. Jam-packed. Hit that like button, grinders. Hit that subscribe button. We are getting ready. I got to find that Satya review. I've been going crazy here. And also, it's a special night. I'm going to reveal something very special. The Grinds board has a new member added to the Grinds board. So just want to let you know that the has a new member. A new person that's entered onto the Grinds board. Now I got to figure out where the hell this thing is. Holy crap. I had it. Oh, man. Hold on. I had these other tabs open. There it is. All right.
Let's get started with the show.
Let's get started with the show.
But so
There
much
he
has been
is.
happening.
So this is the interview that kicked off everything. Thank you. Neil says the membership's worth every penny. Yeah, you get the VIP shows, plus you get all the music. So you get a bunch of music there in the house. So let me tell you something. So let's share this screen here. Hit that like button. There's the Xbox bloodbath background because it is a lot. So this is the interview that Satya had while Asha was dropping the all that stuff going around about Asha's memo. Okay? And keep it coming, dude. I'll keep reading them all. Shadowlink with a 5, he goes, that's for the shout out. Also wanted to do a 50 gift on your channel. You go live too late for me, but I'll catch the replay. Get up at 3:30 a.m. Hey, Shadowlink, thank you so much, man. Yeah, shout you out. and thank you for all your support, man. I really appreciate it. And get a good night. You're gonna want this. This will entertain you all day tomorrow, this show. So you got your breakfast, lunch, and probably dinner, because we might go into the midnight oils with this one, grinders. But thank you, Shadowlink. Yes, this will entertain you for tomorrow. Definitely here. Neil's there for 31 months. Thank you so much. Yo. And yeah. And everybody who got one, thanks, Shadowlink. And go listen to the awesome music. And also, I'm going to be uploading a bunch of music now, and we'll get ready for the balcony show. Plus, we'll do a community game night as well, which you guys are loving. So I'm loving those as well, because it's fun. It's fun. Instead of me just talking like this, we do a community game night. You come on the chat, and I just play games, and you guys just grind your gears. I always wanted to do that, and I think that's probably, so far, it's been the best thing to do. Shout out to Jeffrey Smith to be a VIP grinder. Enjoy, baby. Thank you so much. Phil is speechless. He's not even talking anymore. I think Phil got erased from my board. Thank you, man. Yo, I did see that here too, Jackson. The news is coming in so crazy. It is crazy. They're suing Microsoft for this stuff. Dude, it is coming in. And I don't want to go on a whole tirade about things, because I want to kind of get people up to date with what the hell's going on, but it's happening so fast. But the thing, what I want to kind of get out right now before we go down what he said and what's happening right now, is how quickly this happened. It was like FanFest was brought back, and then FanFest, they came off the plane, showed up, and landed at their home, and Asha was just like, boom, that's it. Next 100 days, everybody's cooked. It just shows how much of a facade, how much of a fake thing that FanFest was. Her on stage goofing around, all those photos, all that hear you stuff, all that community crap, because she just gutted the whole community and just destroyed everything Xbox under a new logo the next day. There was no kind of honeymoon of like, oh, let's celebrate the games. She killed any hype for their show and some of their games. Like, who the hell is going to be talking about Gears? Who even cares about Gears now? All these games are getting roasted. All these, like, where's the pipeline? This is the problem. Like, she basically, and this shows her ignorance and just her cold-heartedness to gaming, that she had no clue. Grand opening clan closing. Shout out to Porter Rock. Yeah, exactly. It is crazy. Ozanite sent flowers. 30 jewels I got, baby. Thank you for the jewels. Send me those jewels, baby. Ching-ching. I gotta get it. Cha-ching. Where's my cha-ching? Here it is. This is when you send the jewels. I'm gonna give you this. There you go. There's your sound clip for the jewels. There you go. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. The flowers, too. But how fast, dude? How fast? David says, I'll give you $125 for Ninja Theory. Dude, they're under the table. The showcase was a funeral, Springfield. I know. That is how her sense of because it's all business. It just showed her whole march up to that FanFest. That whole march up to FanFest was a funeral march, was basically a fake facade to the disaster that's going on at Microsoft. And they have the nerve to be like, oh, and we're touring out Major Nelson like friggin' Mickey Mouse all around the globe. Dude, I swear, if people line up for Xbox FanFest in this post-mortem Xbox world where they're just shutting down everything, you gotta be a nutcase of an you're definitely a Glaze level 5. That automatically clarifies you as a Glaze level 5 if you're gonna be celebrating FanFest after this disaster of there. And we have an image. I've captured this. It was a very challenging capture, but I was able to capture a live Glazed 5 Xbox a level 5 glaze. And I was able to capture it, and we have it here. It was a very rare sighting, and like I said, when people hit this level of glaze, I just don't understand how you could be partying and celebrating with them after what she's just doing right now. This is it. This is a level 5 glaze. Nobody's come back from this kind of glaze. So just to let you know. But you got to be this kind of level now to celebrate a fan fest with Xbox. Because they have basically just lied in your face and spit in your shit. Right? That's done. They spit at you. It was a joke. Exactly. She has the next 100 days. Dude, 100 days. Day 1, you're fired. Everybody's closed. And 2 days later. Nelson Gaming, 44-month VIP grinder. He's been here. He's the OG. This is a friggin' day 1, too. It's not even it's only the start. Things are going to get dire by 4th of July. They're supposed to have people laid off by the end of June. Studios are being told to now, they're fighting for their lives right now, these studios. Well, let me get to the studios. But this thing is very interesting here with Satya, because this is where people will like, they're like, oh yeah, well, it's a business. I applaud. And all you, and for people that think they applaud Asha for her honesty and truthfulness in hard times, dude, it's bullshit. It is bull. Like I said, if somebody knocks on your door and says, I took a shit on your lawn, are you going to be like, I appreciate your transparency? No. You're going to be like, why did you take a shit on my lawn? So just because she's delivering bad news in a memo that leaked, and then she's putting it out there for the public to see and just broadcasting it out there about how the studios are to blame. This is the problem that I have. This guy and his executive team destroyed Xbox. And the people that are going out in the streets are the artists, the developers, the people that make the content that we play. This dopey bastard sitting in this chair doesn't make the content. This stupid bastard stuttering guy, he don't make the content for us gamers. The people that make the content for us to play, the things that we buy, those are the people that are getting fired now. Those are the people that are going and begging for their lives right now because Microsoft decided to buy them. That's what's happening. This bitch didn't make anything. Sitting there, legs crossed, talking about AI. Somebody to bash him. Stupid ass. Because his mistakes, his executive team have cost now the end of franchises, the end of IP. They already killed my Perfect Dark because of this bitch. They already killed Perfect Dark because he didn't know how to run it, and I still can't believe that friggin' Matt Glorious Maximus shit-faced booty is still there. How does that... He must smell like shit, or he smells like petunias, because that guy is still employed. How is that shithead still there? Because all these studios suffered because of his dumbass. Bonnie Ross got fired under his watch. They shut down Halo Studios and called them now Halo Studio. They shut down 343 and Halo Studios. They canceled Perfect Dark twice. They destroyed franchises like Crackdown. He destroyed Gears with Kate's Story. He destroyed games, late games, delayed games, incomplete games. He gave us Craig, the Hairless Brute. He gave us the Hairless Brute. All on the Booty. Booty has a portfolio that smells like shit. He has destroyed everything. He destroyed Forza Motorsport. Thank you, Matt Booty. He destroyed Forza Motorsport. Game came out every 2 years, spit, shine, polish. And Matt Booty made Forza take 6 years, turned it into some service game with no service. What's up, Frogs? How you doing, man? They made it with Frogs. Frogs, they tagged us. Frogs, 4 years ago, we called the whole goddamn thing about Activision. Shout out to Frogs in the chat. Hope everything is well, man. They killed Conker. Dude, Outside Gaming Night. That's what made me start this channel. When they put Conker in friggin' VR and made him dance around your friggin' refrigerator. I'm like, what? And then they threw him in Project Spark saying, you make Conker. I'm like, I make Conker. We'll get back to that real vid. Never forgive him a canceling scam. Listen to what... So, of all these years that Satya's been there. So, research. Satya's been there. He gave you us rare honey. That's right, Richard. Satya's been there since 2014. We'll go back and show how he treated Xbox back then. But Satya hasn't said anything. They dressed him up. They put on a goddamn... They dressed him up saying that he's about Halo. Listen how Satya really feels about Xbox now.
Something that's broadly
platform shifts that you signaled at Build last week when you announced
with essentially a petaflop of compute, right?
Whoa, I didn't even click on this. A peta who? Satya, you son of a bitch.
I am doing more with less. Trusting feel he's
What the hell did you say?
best. Now
peta
slide
who?
your chest high and stirring Satya. Listen to
Oh man, I don't know what the hell.
me.
What the hell is Satya talking about here? You called that petaflop.
Right on their PC. So that was this device.
Right on their PP. What the? Yo.
Which
Satya,
can
what the hell's going on here?
Goal is to
Let's get to your
invent
Xbox thing.
in an economically viable way, right? I think one of the things that Asha, who's
Oh, here it is.
it's got a long heritage. We're very
Here he goes. Here he goes. He's warming up, Grinders. He's going to tell you how he really feels about Xbox. They could dress him up. Wait for Sunday. Put on. Oh, put on the merch. Put on the merch, Satya. Let's hear how he really feels. Jeffrey Grando with the 2. He goes, the word is reverting exclusive. Yo, the word is they're reverting exclusivity. RIP. Yo, we'll talk about that, Jeffrey, because the thing is that it makes no friggin' sense. They're begging and screaming for money. After you hear what Satya says, how does exclusivity help them by not putting it on anything to sell? Get it, Satya. Get in there.
thrilled about the progress we have made. I mean, gaming in an interesting way at Microsoft.
There he goes. Gaming at Microsoft. Dude, he says, our Nintendo's doing well. Dude, you thought it was Nintendo for Satya thought it was a Nintendo for half a decade. He was like, Phil, how's the Nintendo doing? Phil Big, no, it's an Xbox, Satya. That Nintendo's doing great, right? We released a Mario. Get back to that Nintendo, Phil. Put that Nintendo back on. No, Satya, it's an Xbox. He goes, Xbox? Who? It's a Nintendo. That's like your mom. Turn off the Nintendo. Mom, it's a Genesis, Sega. Put the Nintendo away. But it's a PlayStation. Turn off the Nintendo.
Is older than even Windows and Office, right?
This son of a bitch has been. I can't even get through this. Grinders, I told you. You better pull up a goddamn. You better pull up a friggin' You better pull up a sleeping bag, because it is roasting season. I might lose my friggin' voice after this show. You got to keep me going, because I'm gonna go off the rails. I can't even get through this thing without wanting to punch my screen over this clown. He's been saying the same thing. We've done Excel since Flight Simulator. Oh, Satya, shut up.
The first app we built was the Flight Simulator. And so it's got a long heritage. Xbox itself has been there for 25 years. The challenge...
See, he knew. He's like, they're not going to get out of this year. That's why he slipped up. See, that was a Freudian slip right there. Satya said 24 years. He slipped up. He's like 24, 25. He knows that Xbox ain't going to get out this year. He knows this. It's over, Johnny. Poor old bitch. He knows. See? He knows. Satya's like 25 years. Because he knows they're not going to see November. Xbox is not going to see November. You hear what he said, right? Why would this man slip up and say 24? He knows they're not going to make it to 25. November, he's like, shit, this shit ain't coming. No, this shit not going to November. Get right. And then right after this, they shut down all the studios. Dude, Xbox is going to be it's going to be at the Will Smith sitting there in the middle of the empty house. He's like, they know. That's right, 2027 is coming.
The challenge now for us is to think about how do you innovate both in hardware as well as in the games going forward in an economically viable way, right? I think
a viable way. Why is he talking about goddamn like Porky Pig? Why is Satya talking like Porky Pig in a viable way? Why are you stuttering? In a viable way. Dude, you know, you're lucky the Xbox wasn't a W box. You better get the wah box.
Microsoft of not having invested. Microsoft games going forward in an economically viable way.
What's a viable way? Who? What? Where? Satya, I don't understand the words that are coming out your mouth. Are we good? Are we bad?
Right. I think one of the things that Asha, who's just taken over Xbox, put out is that we've invested a lot. No one can accuse Microsoft of not having invested for the last 25 years.
And didn't they do the same thing with AI? Didn't they do the same thing with AI? They look at us spending money. Look at us. Look at me. Look at me writing checks. Look at me spending money. Look at me. And they get everybody excited. It's like, oh, Microsoft's spending money. So you thought just by buying companies, that was enough. So nobody could accuse you for not investing in games. Again, another facade, another fake thing. Oh, well, we don't have any games of relevancy, but guess what? If we just go invest, then people will show that we're serious in gaming. Like, bitch, you got to put out the product. Just by you buying stuff and it doesn't impress me. That doesn't impress the gamer. And now you're seeing that. You went out and spent so much money. You like, look at me. Now, oops, the product is not there. Yeah, because the investment is just half step. You writing that check for $80 billion was just to get you halfway there. Now the true job comes of where you got to now curate and nurture and grow Ninja Theory, Compulsion. This is where you had to do that. And that's where Booty failed and dropped the shit. That's where it happened. Because that part they stopped. They're like, we're going to buy you Compulsion, and then we're just going to let you just go. We're not going to nurture you. We're not going to do shit. We're not going to tell you what to make. Just do whatever you want on our dollar. We'll pay for the electricity. There was no oversight. There was no management. Same thing with the initiative. Oh, we made a studio. We hired all these people. That's great. Now go make something. Oh no, we stopped there. We just hired the people and we just made the studio that has coffee and that's it. We stopped there. And that's the problem. You buying them was halfway. You had to do the other way. That's where it really takes the job. And yeah, you stopped.
And now we have to turn this into a sustainable business that delivers what is fundamentally one of the best sources of entertainment still.
Same words. Just like Asha calls gaming entertainment. See, that's the problem that both of them have. You see, they're speaking the same words. That's why Asha was never the independent. She is his sidekick. This is like an evil horror story right now. It's like, yo, there's two of them. This is like Scream 1. What? There's two of them? There's two of them. It's Asha and Satya. That's the tag team from hell. You see how she, in her interview, said, gaming, well, at first I didn't want to do this, but then I thought gaming, and then it's a form of entertainment, so entertainment and attention. And there he goes. They're turning gaming into what they want it to be for them. Yes, it is entertainment, but the problem is when you call it an entertainment and you see they're talking about, Asha talking about movies and TV shows and entertainment. That's why what's happening is happening right now. Like the Sith. That's right, plural. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. There's always two of them. The Sith. That's what I said. Doc Sidious and Doc Maul. There you go. There's always two of them. There's always two of them. Yo, that's it. Satya just saw this is what happened. Frogs. Know what happened? Satya saw the bill of the last rooftop party. He goes, yo, shut it down. He goes, I'm done with these rooftop parties and all the swag that we're giving out and feeding people 5 levels of catering and shit. Aaron Greenberg riding around in Escalades and shit. He goes, that's it. I'm shutting it all down. He goes, that's it. He just got the bill. After this, he goes, he got the bill from FanFest. He goes, what? He ate how much? They ordered how many hamburgers? They went to what? Catering on 5 different levels? Dude, they saw they saw it. He got the bill. They sent Satya the bill. Asha wrote her expense report. That's what Satya's like, oh, that's it. That's it. Satya got the expense report. He goes, what? 5 levels of catering? How many hoodies did we release? Asha, how many Xboxes did you give out? Yo, I'm telling you right now, if you get one of those green Xboxes, you better not open it because it is going to be a relic. All right? People are going to be looking for that shit in a time capsule. I'm telling you that right now. That 25th anniversary Xbox right now, that thing is going up. You think scalpers are making the prices right now? That thing is going to be a friggin' relic. It's going to be like E.T. in the hole. That's what that thing's going to be because there's not going to, I'm telling you right now, that Xbox, that is a relic. That's a time capsule. That green Xbox that Asha just gave out, don't open it. You'll thank me in 5 years when that thing is worth like friggin' $5,000. That is going to be a timepiece. They're going to be, oh, remember that green Xbox? Remember that last year when Asha gave those out? Yeah, remember the Xbox? Yeah, I heard that they threw all the Xboxes in a hole right next to ET. Oh, shit.
The challenge we have.
The last Xbox. Dude, that's it. It's the last Xbox. Hit that like button, grinders.
Is we're not been monetizing that entertainment.
So there you go. This is the first time in his whole time at Microsoft that he actually spoke about Xbox and how it's not making money. And this is it. So I don't know if Phil kept him in check or he just let Phil be the good guy. But Satya never spoke this honestly, specifically about the Xbox business ever. He did mention it a couple of times, like at the end of his financial reports and stuff like that. After they spent $80 billion on Activision, everybody started asking. But right now, this is the first time I searched it. Satya has never spoken about this thing before, and this knows that Order 66 has been activated. Dude, as soon as they turned off the lights of FanFest, they said, activate Order 66. We're done. We gotta monetize this horrible business that I don't even believe in. He does a 6-7 words at a time on this interview. Mm-hmm. So now he says, it's an entertainment form that we gotta monetize. Because we haven't done it all these years. 25. Dude, where's the 25-year anniversary celebration? Because this is wouldn't you love to hear on your 20? This is like hitting your wedding 25th anniversary and your wife going, I never loved you. Like, that's what this is. It's horrible to say, but that's what it is. Honey, we're at 25 years. Yeah, I hate you. I don't know why I spent 25 years with you. That's what Satya is doing. Satya is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. Tell us about it. Yeah, we hate it. We haven't made money on it. Sucks. That's it. That's it. What an anniversary. My God. It's more of a eulogy. It's crazy. Dude has no concept. 25th anniversary. You got these guys bleeding green Xbox tattoos on them, all inked up. And Satya being like, happy 25th anniversary. I never loved it. That's it. It sucks. It always sucked. I never liked it.
Oh, no.
It's sad, but true. Right, Nick? Anonymous sent Jules. He likes that analogy. Dude, no, Matty Beast is not even getting divorced. It's 25 years saying I hate you for those 25 years. That's what this Satya doing. He's like, I hate this shit. I wasn't even here, and I hate it. Still, I hate it the last 10 years. I hate this thing. He goes, now we got to make money on this bitch. That's what he's saying right now. And he never said this before, ever. That's why I'm playing it. That's why I could not skip this.
In fact, if anything, we've been subsidizing that entertainment. In fact, like there's more monetization of Xbox games happening on YouTube than at Microsoft.
Yo, I almost spit on my tequila. You believe that? There's more monetization of games, of their games on YouTube than them selling those games. Well, let me tell you something, Satya. You seem to be in shock about that little joke that you made. Let me tell you something. Maybe if you didn't give a review copy to anybody that was breathing and had a green logo in their name, maybe if you said, hey, buy our quality games instead of handing it out to everybody, maybe they'll be... He's talking about all those YouTubers and influencers. Dude, you empowered them. You gave them all the free shit. That's why they kept talking good about you, because you gave them all the Project Helix swag and the review copies. Cobra got a review copy of Forza. And then he's like tweeting it out on Twitter, making money on Twitter because like, oh yeah, I got a review copy, and then getting all these likes and getting a check sent to him. You're the dumbass, Satya. You don't make people earn their games. Like, send it to reviewers for review. And stop sending it out to everybody that's breathing, that says all you got to do is go X. And they're like, oh, you got a free copy. There you go, sir. There you go. Put up the X sign. Forget about it. They'll send you a whole swag bag. You go on YouTube and put up an X sign, Aaron Greenberg coming to your door. He knocking on your door. You can be like Major Nelson when he showed up at what's his name's house. That freaking when he showed up at that guy's house with the Xbox. Remember that? Remember that shit? Oh, yo, remember that shit? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Remember when Major Nelson there was so much negativity going on with the Xbox that Major Nelson had to go visit Boogie? Tell me. Yo, remember that? Free tattoos? Yo, remember this? Yo, remember this? Oh, shit, yo. He's more monetization on YouTube. Dude, they sent Major Nelson over there like a glorified Mickey Mouse. Yo, wait a second, wait. People don't remember? Grinders, that's why you subscribe here to the Gaming Grindhouse, because guess what? The tapes are coming. Here they are.
First time I've ever done
He hated
anything
it.
like this. We have a special guest here in the studio. Normally we do like the Google Plus Hangout stuff, but this is the one and only Major Nelson.
Major Nelson, they sent Major Nelson to deliver him an
Dude.
Xbox.
I've had an awesome day thanks to you.
It's been awesome. Thank you for inviting me. This is actually your home. People think this is a studio. This is really your home.
This is the back bedroom of my home. Of course, you've seen it all up and down. What do you think? Nice place?
It's palatial.
Imagine Major Nelson showed up to your house because you talk shit about Xbox.
You gotta be careful though, because the polar bear is pretty sensitive this time.
Tell him why you're there, Major Nelson.
Flew all the way across country.
Now, why do we do this? We did this because I've been a bit of a what you would call an opponent. This summer, and some people would say that I might have even damaged your company's reputation. But now we've talked about this all day, and we'll talk about it again here. At the end of the day, I'm what I like to call a Pokemon gamer. I like to collect them all.
Major Nelson got him a gunpoint. There's a gun behind him.
I want to play every exclusive. I want to own every system. And fortunately, thanks to my job, I get the opportunity to do that. Especially with your generosity today, giving me the opportunity to bring in an Xbox One. Let me sit down, try the system.
Hand carried it across the country. Right. By the way, it's my first time to your lovely state.
Isn't it wonderful?
It's beautiful.
This dude loves food like nobody else. So,
dude, they sent Major Nelson hand delivered an Xbox if you talk shit about it. This is the crap, dude. What are we doing here? It's a sickness. Where is it? Where's next gen? It's a sickness. Look at them. They flew in there out there showing Xbox. They hooked it up in the living room. Where is it? What did he do right here?
Do you see why we did now?
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
he convinced them.
A lot of people, me being one of them, gave you a lot of shit for putting Kinect in the box.
Yeah. Do you see why we did now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Kinect
actually
in the box.
really, really am glad it shipped with it. Because if people didn't adopt that technology, they would not be grasping the concept of why this is a next generation level box.
Yeah, we put it when we put it in there. I mean, we set it up in your living room, and you sat down and you said Xbox on.
Yep.
And within like 13 seconds, it powered on.
Yep.
Recognized you.
Said, hi, you fat fucker.
Signed you in. And you were ready to go.
And we were
right back into your game.
And I couldn't.
Oh, shit on me, Grinders. The Grindhouse never forgets. Dude, this was real. We fucking took Mr. Tennis. What do you mean? This is not real. It is real. 12 years ago. Satya, they're making money on YouTube. That's what he says. Hit that like button, Grinders. It's a sickness out there. The X-Bone. Yo, he's like, see? That's why I put Kinect in the box. Yo, then Phil Spencer comes in and takes Kinect out of the box. I told you. Get Satya. Tell us more about how YouTube wins and how you suck again.
And so that doesn't mean we go do things that are unnatural. We want us to do what is really our job, which is to build great games, build great hardware, but we've got to do it in an economically sustainable way. So I think Asha is really 100 days in, and she put out a post saying in the next 100 days, she's going to take a fresh look and make sure we deliver on what our fans expect of us, both on the hardware side or on the publishing side.
I mean, can you give us just any more detail? Like when I hear that, I think, okay, so maybe like the Xbox gets way more expensive, the games get way more expensive. Like, is there any sort of like carrot you can offer the gamers?
Like, I think we have to find ways to deliver the games at which it's economically relevant for the customer and for us. So today, there's a issue, in fact, unfortunately, because of what's happening with the cloud and AI, the prices have gone up, right? It's happening with PCs, it's happening with phones.
I wonder why is it happening, Satya? Like, oh, we're in shock? Cloud and AI, that was the only words out of your mouth for the last decade. And the problem is your promises are not amounting to shit. That's why the cloud and AI is where it's at. And because that's happening, now you're like, uh-oh, we can't subsidize this business anymore. Don't you realize, Grinders, that's exactly what's happening? This man spoke about AI. He spoke about AI. He spoke about cloud. And he didn't even say the word Xbox. He talked about all that other stuff. And what happened was they were investing. And now that money was coming in because everybody said, you're investing. That's wonderful. Here's more money. Here's more money, sir. Here's more money. Well, what happened is now the bubble's going to pop because it's not happening anymore. And now they're like, yo, the money's not coming in anymore. People want to get paid. And this Xbox is an anchor right now. And remember, January and February, right before Phil left, it was the first time Amy in the Hood said Xbox brought down personal computing. She called out Xbox for the first time ever, saying it was the reason we were down in this division. And because of that, now Xbox is taken, and you know, you could say all you want, but honestly, Xbox now as a corporation is taking a hit for his failures in AI and cloud and open AI and his partnerships, because none of his bogus statements and things that he said are coming true. Nobody's paying for Copilot. Copilot now is like 4th or 5th. You're back to where you are, Satya. Everybody, OpenAI broke free and now is doing other people. Pause. Phil, get in there. And now he is floundering around. Amazon Web Services took over their stuff. Nobody's using Azure servers. Everybody likes Amazon. All your shit sucks. And because you're failing as a company level of all your promises and all the cloud was going to take over and everybody's going to be using Azure. Nope, they're using Amazon. Everybody going to be using Copilot. Nope, they're using Gemini and Google and Apple AI. You will keep dropping down. OpenAI, OpenAI wanted to separate from you. That's why Grind is on this channel. I've always talked about the business of Microsoft, and sometimes people are like, hey, man, that don't sound like gaming. But the whole point is that I follow Microsoft so much, and I was a huge fan of them back in the Surface when they were launching that stuff, and it was great, and I invested in all their stuff, and then they kind of abandoned it. And again, pissed me off, grinds my gears. All their promises, the way they treated AI, the way they treated cloud, they suck. And I've always said this before, just like Groove Music, Microsoft always same thing with Connect. They always show something first. They don't know how to market it. They don't know how to sell it. They don't have they don't have good ways of introducing new tech. And then they drop off. And then somebody comes around like Spotify and just takes over the business. Say, thanks, nobody, we got it. They were the first ones talking about Copilot to beat everybody to the punch. And Google shows up with Gemini like years later going, yeah, boom, leapfrog them. And that's what happens. They got leapfrog. Dude, we were just like Major Nelson was saying in that video. I say Xbox on and it turns on. People didn't like it at the time. And Microsoft was corny as, look what they were doing. They were corny as hell going there, trying to convince people that we put a camera in the box so you could turn it on. Now, we just talk in our AI in our house, answers questions, books our trips, looks at the weather, does all this stuff. Alexa's all over the place. Google's all over the place. Microsoft was ahead of the time, but they couldn't have the proper rollout and support, and they were not good at marketing and innovation. Instead, Connect wasn't theirs. They bought Connect just like Mixer. They bought Beam. They didn't create something from the ground up and try to do. They bought Beam and turned it into Mixer. This man shut it down. He thought Mixer. You go back and watch his videos about Mixer. He loved Mixer. That was their Twitch competitor. They were going to compete against Twitch and YouTube with Mixer. It wasn't theirs. They just bought Beam and renamed it. Oh, they shut it down. And what happened? Why? Well, they try to have people use it, but it wasn't moving fast enough. So then they signed Ninja and Shroud, paid them tons of money. Everybody's like, look at their investment. Look what they're doing. They're behind it. Satya's like, oh, I spent money on Ninja and Shroud. Look at my investment in Mixer. And 6 months later, they shut it down. And Grinders, what have I said for the last 4 years on this channel? It's amazing. I said that Activision and ZeniMax acquisitions are the Ninja and Shrouds of Xbox. And here we are today. I don't want the flowers. I just want to be heard because I've said it. After that Activision deal, I said that is analogous because right after they bought Ninja and Shroud and paid them all the money to try to get an influx of people to Mixer, it didn't happen. Mixer didn't grow. They shut it down. What do? They bought ZeniMax, they bought ABK, and they try to bring them to get people to come into Game Pass. Look at us. We're going to grow. We're going to grow. It didn't grow, and now they're shutting it all down. New manager, gutting games, gutting studios, canceling IP. They're begging for their lives right now. They gutted the whole business. I said it, and I said it. And nobody could take that. That was my words. That was my words. I said that would be the Ninja and Shroud of Xbox. ABK and the ZeniMax acquisitions are your Ninja and Shrouds because they did the same exact thing with Mixer. They threw a whole bunch of money at people thinking that we're just going to buy our popularity, and they did it again with studios and publishers, and guess what happened? Right after that, the money dried up. This is too much of an investment. It's not growing. We're shutting it down. Go to Facebook Gaming, they said, Nick. Exactly. And what are they doing now? They're shutting it all down, re-gutting it. Exactly. Done. I told you it was. I said ABK was the Ninja and Shroud. I knew it. And I also said that, Drep. I said that Xbox will become Activision. Activision will be Xbox. Because when we saw the financials, that year of Activision was like plus 40. And Xbox was destroyed. It's horrible. With all that, and I always said that on this show. I was like, they're everywhere, dude. They're on every platform. They're on iPads. They're like, wait till we get to iPads. iPads, consoles, TVs, MetaQuest, PlayStation, Nintendo. And then they show it and they're minus 4% in services. It's like, what? I'm like, they're everywhere. There's nowhere else to go. You got to make games that people go goo goo gaga for. And that's always been their problem. They never made tentpole titles that drive people to their platforms wherever they are. And whenever they asked about games, they were either not ready, delayed, undercooked, missing features. And for what? But they'll tell you like this, the future of gaming. And it's like, I don't give a shit where the game is. If I don't care about your game, I don't care where I play it. And then he never got that. He never understood that. Oh, you could play it here. You could play it here. Dude, they don't even want to play it on an Xbox. Who gives a shit they can play it on a ROG Ally? Nobody cares about your game. You got to make them care by giving them that FOMO and showing the quality of your games. Be confident in your games. Don't hide them. Don't ship them out with like, oh, well, here's some gameplay in a late afternoon one day and just get it in Game Pass. It's crazy. Jaguar, member of 44 months VIP, says Xbox is a shit show 25 years later.
Xbox is impacted as well. So the scarcity of the semiconductor supply and memory in particular having a massive impact on consumer electronics all up. That's a temporal thing that I think we'll get through. It is not going to be a permanent. But there is a permanent thing, which is what's the Xbox model going forward? And that's where, if you think about it, like PCs and consoles both have their place. Obviously, mobile has, people play elsewhere. And so we have to now bring it all together while staying true to what we've always done.
Satya, I want to take you back.
There you go. Consoles and PCs. We'll see. We will see. That was his statement. Are consoles and PCs one, or is it just going to be one, but it's and mobile? Remember, Asha loves Activision. Yeah. So that was a Satya thing, basically saying after all these years, Xbox needs to make some money. We're done subsidizing them. So for all the people saying that, Xbox was fine. And then what's funny is that I even pulled up some articles here. Like, this is the wordsmithing that they always did. Sarah Bond, I told you, I did some research grind. You better hit that like button. This is a loaded show, man. You got to put timestamps in here, and you guys... This is a reference show, right? You want to reference Xbox, a reference device? This show is going to be a reference right now that we're going to come back to it 5 years from now going, there it is. Remember Sarah Bond right here. Sarah Bond in October 1st, 2025, not so long ago. Feels like forever in Xbox world. She says Game Pass is profitable and good for creators despite alleged division over subscription model. So Sarah Bond said Game Pass was profitable. Phil said Xbox is profitable. The problem is that, yeah, if you look in a silo, maybe they were making money in Game Pass, but what we learned now from Asha's memo and from Satya is that whatever little money they were making from Game Pass, that profitability of what, 1%, 2%, was offset because they had to subsidize the making of games. And what's funny is that when they go here, they actually call that out. During an interview to Tokyo Game Show and Game Watch, Xbox President Sarah Bond was asked about how viable Game Pass is as a business. The interview is citing the price alongside increasing number of titles. Bond responded that the last fiscal year, Game Pass took in $5 billion in revenue, saying that it's a profitable business as more creators join Game Pass. Right? And payments to the creators increase. So I think it's a good business for creators. Now, here comes the caveat. Of course, that $5 billion is not taking into account the price of game development and the cost of Xbox Game Studios releasing games on day one. See? So she's just looking at it from the partners joining if they're making money off the people. And of course, if you look at what they did with Expedition 33, they probably gave them here's a couple of million, and they basically made they made out on that one. But she's not taking into account the game development cost for the studios and for them putting their games on day one. So somebody developing Gears of War or for 6 years, or Halo for 6 years, and then throwing it in Game Pass, and that thing not growing Game Pass to make back the money. Now we're finding out the truth. We're finding out right now. What's up, Hood Rich? And revenue is not profit. Exactly. That too. So they're making money, but that money now is getting redistributed to offset with all the compromising that they got to do. What Satya said. We've been basically subsidizing everything because whatever money we get in from Activision ABK, that's paying off our debt. So we have a no net growth, net profit. We have nothing net. When you look at the losses versus our gains, we are not making money. And that's where Asha's coming in, going, okay, well, we got to cut our losses. And that is the head count. Layoffs is the fastest way. Cancel games, cancel the people working on the games, shut down the studios. And that's where we are now. Shut them down. We need to cut our losses because the cost of people building games that are going to go into a Game Pass service that are not going to sell, we can't waste our money. And this is how this business has been run. All they've been doing is buying time. I've said it so many times here. It's crazy. All they've been doing is just buying time. They just been like, okay, well, we'll buy more. And and every opportunity they had to basically say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't put Call of Duty in Game Pass. Maybe we'll try to sell it. And that never made sense to me either. I remember when Phil did the interview.
Black Ops 6.
This interview, famous.
Right? Like,
Some people said I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, most people in this room have probably been used to spending $60-$70 on it every year. Now, if they're already subscribing to Game Pass, good to go.
But it's a choice. Like, we didn't say to anybody, you have to subscribe to play. If you want to buy Black Ops, it's great. It's great for us. It's great for the developer. If you want to subscribe, it's also great. Like, I want to give you the choice on how you play your games and who you play with, and not try to do slimy platform things to force you to do what I want you to do. Give the players choice and what they want to do and who they play with.
Wow. But it was a choice, and they chose to not buy it because it was the worst Call of Duty. So, yeah, there you go, Phil. And that was the second year. It's a choice. And then Asha came in and said, yeah, we're going to do a slimy thing. We're going to take it out of Game Pass and make you buy it because we want you to buy it. Okay? Phil talking about choice. Asha say no choice. You're going to pay for it. And the bloodbath begins. So, grinders, yeah, it is absolutely insane what they've been doing right now with the whole messaging of basically we're going to gut Xbox. So, one of the other things that came up was not only did the studio closures, which we'll get into right after this one, but basically the head of Xbox Studios, not Matt Booty, but Craig Duncan, who was promoted just about 18 months ago, stepped down from his role and his key staffing person, the head CEO of staffing, the staffing person, O'Connor. So Craig Duncan steps down from his role as head of Xbox Game Studios. So the person that runs all their gaming studios, their Xbox Game Studios, gone. 18 months, he's gone. And he's leaving this week. Dude's been there for a long time. Before 18 months, he's been there for a long time. He ran Rare. He launched Sea of Thieves. Dude's leaving this week. Just like Phil Spencer. Don't come back tomorrow. Don't come back tomorrow. Gone. Craig Duncan, gone. Erased. Thanks. It's been a banger. This is no transition period. He's not transitioning his role to a new employee at the end of the month. He gone this week. Because there is no role. Just like I said, who is the president of Xbox? Sarah Bond didn't transfer her role to anybody. She didn't onboard anybody. Asha counting her days. Oh, this is my first 30 days, my first 60 days. I'm learning the business. My 100 days, my next 100 days. Where was Sarah Bond's 30 days of transferring knowledge to her replacement? Yeah. But again, I asked the hard questions. I said, who is the next president of Xbox? I asked these Xboxes. I'm like, where is the next president of Xbox? If Xbox is back, it needs a president, right? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, no thanks. Yeah, sorry about that one. This guy leaving. Who's going to run the game studios when he gone? Guess who? You know who it is. Who's running the studios now? Xbox Game Studios. Who's going to run it now? You know who's running it. Yeah, I know who's running it.
Great ass.
The great ass. Matt Booty. Temporary oversight. Halo, the Coalition. Wonderful. It's so nice that this guy leaves right when they said Coalition is coming out with an exclusive game and the marketing for Gears E-Day is beginning. The head of Game Studios is gone. Like I said, they basically castrated Gears. Nonetheless, it's coming out on a horrible release date 2 weeks before Call of Duty Early Access campaign. Gears is going to die. I think Coalition don't make it out this year. I think by spring next year, we're going to see them go bye-bye. She's setting them up to fail. The head of Xbox Game Studios, the director of the Coalition, speaks to Craig Duncan. And Craig Duncan tells how the studios are going to Matt Luscious Booty. Well, Craig Duncan not there anymore. Now you're going to have to report to Booty Cheeks. And now maybe you get some good coffee. But that's it. And this man falls upward. He gets more responsibilities.
Great ass.
More responsibilities to this man. He can't, dude, he's like juggling 5 things and everything's falling on the floor. And they're like, hey, sir, Matt Booty, you just dropped the 5 things that you were juggling. Here's a 6th thing. You think he's going to catch it? They're gone. He's gone this week. There's no transition period, nothing. He gone. Until a replacement is found. Who's walking into that one? Some AI person? Who's the replacement for him? Yeah. You know who the replacement is? It's gonna be Matt Booty's gonna appoint somebody, Booty Jr. He's gonna do little ass. He's like, I'm great ass, I'm gonna hire little ass over here. Booty Jr. gonna go in there. Booty Jr. Maybe somebody Asha puts as an AI person. But like I said, the people with Xbox in their name are gone. It was funny is when I made this thumbnail, the last thumbnail I created with this template was when the Sarah Bond, those people left. The creative marketing of third party, she left. I know, Damasi, everything I said a few years ago is happening. Here are my flowers. Yo, man, thank you. I appreciate Damasi, the shout out, man. Hey, we all said it, Damasi. You too. The fact that you were here a few years ago shows that you believe the same thing. And I appreciate it, man. I don't need all the flowers, but I appreciate the shout out. But all you guys get the flowers. I give you guys the flowers for for coming back to this show and staying here all these years. When I said this stuff, people were like fear-mongering. You guys stuck around. So shout out to all you in the chat. Flowers to you guys. And girls. Another departure is Louise O'Connor, head of personnel for Xbox Game Studios. She's also leaving. Who's our replacement? Matt Booty too? We all said it. That's right, Wild Wolf. You all said it. So the head of personnel is leaving. The person that hires and staffs these teams, she gone too. It sounds like a little bit of a black hole there. It means, yeah, you want to know why? It's because they don't plan on bringing on any more people and growing these studios. They're cutting them all by the balls. All of them. Think about the ones we're going to go into the studios. All the Xbox game studios. I said this. The game studios, the studios that they bought in 2018, and these little hokey dokey studios that they bought to fill in content in Game Pass, they're gone. Whether they're gone today, this week, next week, because Asha loves Activision. She's only going to focus on the big franchises. She's going to turn into Activision. Call of Duty, Fallout, and I'm going to tell you right now, Todd Howard, Richard Simmons, Todd Howard, sweating to the oldies. He must get on his hands and knees and pucker up and kiss the ass, the luscious ass of Amazon for that Fallout TV show. That's what he needs to do, because I think without that Fallout TV show, Todd Howard would have been on the streets sweating to the oldies. Goddamn Richard Simmons lookalike. Todd Howard would have been in the streets. He better pucker up and kiss that Amazon ass. Because if it wasn't for that Fallout TV show, Asha would have roasted his ass. He would have roasted him. She would have said, Fallout who? After Starfield? Todd Howard, get out of here. But because of the Fallout TV show, Todd Howard has some more life in Richard Simmons. And he don't have to drive Phil around anymore. And here's the internal memo. Duncan expressed pride in having delivered impeccable launches. I don't know if he was on drugs. He ate so much of that rare honey. And high-quality games that drove the company's commercial success, while also thanking O'Connor for her outstanding work. But hear this. Regarding O'Connor, she added, Luis Weber has been a thoughtful, creative, and trusted partner who has consistently championed the craft and has supported our studies with clarity and care. The choice of words is very interesting. This is what the guy says. In an implication that the current top management does not value those things as much. Craft and care, clarity and care. We've known this. We've known that their management sucks. That's why the initiative went belly under. There was a bunch of head honchos that didn't know what to do. A storm is brewing. Dude, it is. Somebody going to write a book. I think Phil Spencer novel has to be coming out soon. The Phil Ness novel. And what's crazy, he was named Rare Studios lead in October 2024. Then he was promoted to boss in about 18 months ago. And yeah, he moved from Rare he was the head of Rare and then moved to the head of Xbox Game Studios in October 2024. And now on June 15, 2026, he gone. Glassdoor Gamer with the 2, he goes, what level of glaze is Crap Gamer? I don't know. He's a 4, but he has an approach of 5 because he definitely snaps back. But again, he wants them to do good. I think you don't believe what's going on, like all this stuff. Like, and I think Asha did a fantastic way of trying to dupe a lot of the fans to think that she really gave a shit. She didn't fool me. She didn't fool us because I knew that she was moving too fast and too jumping into the weeds very, very deliberately. It didn't happen like, oh, this person's following me. She followed all of them. The Asha Glaze Fest, the weekend, she didn't even know what an Xbox was. And she targeted specific responses, weird responses. Nobody knew she was real. Very weird. And she's been glazing them the whole ride, man. And don't believe me? We're watching now the fallout of all these people leaving. Guess what I got to say? We got a new soundbite, Grinders. Hear this one. Hit that like button. Here she is. Welcome to the Grindhouse, Asha.
How about those exclusives?
We got a Grinders. The official Asha Nest has started on June 2026. The Ashinator has now turned into Asha Nest with this quote right next to Phil Spencer. Welcome, Asha, to the Grinds board.
How about those exclusives?
Yeah, where that from? How about those exclusives?
How about those exclusives?
Yeah. Yep. Right? How about those exclusives, right, Asha? Hey, oh, here she is. Glazed and confused, dude. Glazed and confused. This is Asha on day 99 before she sent them home and destroyed everything they loved. This is Asha. And tell me, this is the fakest shit, man. I don't know if it's because I'm from New York. Shout out to the Knicks. Go Knicks! That's right, baby. Knicks, baby. World champion. World champion 2026. Shout out to the Knicks, baby. But here's Asha. Roasting them. Listen. Day 99. Day 100, she activated Order 66.
It has been a wild ride, and I know we're just getting started here. Yeah.
Think about what just happened. What's happening right now? And she just did this. She just did this, dude. It is wild in these streets. Woo! I need a woo in there. There she goes.
It has been a wild ride, and I know we're just getting started here. Yeah. I mean, first, let's acknowledge all of the great games. Congratulations to Matt, all the studios, our partners. These are games that are going to change people's lives. They're going to form memories, stories, characters for the next decades, and I can't wait to play them all.
Storm is coming.
Yo. And she knew, dude, the next friggin' day, shut them down. She just sent a memo to the studios going, hard times are coming. How about them layoffs? I know, are you crazy, right? But you believe this? She shouts out the studios that she's going to shut down. Asha is a ruthless, man. We thought she was Phil Ness 2.0. I think Asha is Phil Ness 5.0. She's the next generation of... Dude, I am telling you, if Phil Spencer was the T-800, the Terminator... and he infiltrated with old school methods and friends and fan fest and interviews. Asha is the T-1000. She is the new and this one she's a liquid metal. She infiltrates into the Xbox fans and she makes them think that they love her. And they tell her, Asha, we love you. And that's what they said. And this is the T-1000 Asha. We've not seen this before. The Skynet is getting very aggressive. My model is out. But now the Asha, the T-1000 Asha, she liquid metal. She could conform to any type of sharp objects. And she infiltrated the Xbox fans and told them to basically screw you all.
Our partners. These are games that are going to change people's lives. They're going to form memories, stories, characters.
She said the layoffs are going to change people's lives. My God, Asha. How can you sit there with she's a cold-hearted team. Dude, she is Robert Patrick. She is Robert Patrick. She is the T-1000. You know that face? He didn't smile. He just stone cold. She's stone cold. Like, she knows she's going to shut this shit down. This is day 99. Day 100, dude. This is Asha, the T-1000. Here.
Games that are going to change people's lives. They're going to form memories, stories, characters for the next decades, and I can't wait to play them all. How about those exclusives? How about those exclusives?
Dude, man. It is, yo. Cold as ice. She's cold as ice. Oh, how about those exclusives? How about them exclusives? Look at her. She's like, yo, she got him. She got him, man. Listen, hit that like button. This is real life, dude. This is real life. This lady flew those people out there and looked them in the eye and said,
How about those exclusives?
the next day, she is roasting the studios. She's shutting down all your IP. She's rotting them all to hell. And look at her. She knows she's doing it. This is the most ruthless shit I've ever seen. This is insanity, man. She's cold as ice.
How about those exclusives? And how do you feel about the green 25th anniversary? Well, this is my first showcase. I know that so many of you have been here with us for the last 25 years. So if you look down and you have fan on your badge, you will be getting one for free later this year.
Hey, Satya, what did you just say, Satya? People on YouTube making more money. Satya, get in there. Satya, what did you just say?
Like, I think we have to find still. In the next 100 days, she's going to take a fresh look and at Microsoft. And so that doesn't mean we go do things that are unnatural. We want one of the best sources of entertainment still.
We got to
Flight
find...
Simulator. And so it's got a long heritage. Xbox itself has been there for 25 years. The challenge now for us is to think about how do you innovate both in hardware as well as in the games going forward in a world, in an economically viable way, right? I think one of the things that Asha, who's just taken over Xbox, put out is that we've invested a lot. No one can accuse Microsoft of not having invested for the last 25 years. And now we have to turn this into a sustainable business that delivers what is fundamentally one of the best sources of entertainment.
Getting one for free later this year.
What are we doing here?
Stories, characters for the next decades, and I can't wait to play them all. How about those exclusives?
Oh, man.
And how do you feel about the green 25th anniversary?
How?
Well, this is my first showcase. I know that so many of you have been here with us for the last 25 years. So if you look down and you have fan on your badge, you will be getting one for free later this year.
We got to make this a financially business. Look at that booty cheeks. Oh, man, dude. Glaze levels 5 detected. Oh, man, look at these people cheering in the front, dude. That is, oh, man, hold on. Wait, I got to plug this into the machine. Hold on.
5 years. So if you look down and you have fan on your badge, you will be getting one for free later this year.
Xbox Glaze in the Glaze, Xbox Discord to spread PlayStation fun.
Wow, man. That's something. Cold as ice. She's cold as ice, dude. Wow. Yo, I can't believe that. That's like some movie shit. I'm sorry, Grinders. And thank you, Michael Meridian, with the 5 VIPs, taking us to 408 in the house. Thank you so much. Who'd he get? Who'd he shout out them? He got Russell, he got Dex, he got Geometric. Welcome. Check out all the music. Raj in the house. How about, what did she say?
How about those exclusives?
Woo! Yo, I can't believe this is real life. It is like a movie. It is a friggin' movie. She didn't even, the next day, she sent out that memo. The next day. And the next day, She doing all this. Grinders, my bookmarks. This is the newest one now. Now, remember, here we go to the studio closure. So at your timestamps, Grinders, we're going now to what the results are of her cold as ice. She's cold as ice. Hit that. We have over 300 people in here. Hit that Grindhouse like button because this is crazy. Double M Prod Double M Prod 1955. He crying that this is so real. It is wild. Hit that like button, Grinders. This is not altered videos. This is a real life shit. Welcome, Mr. Whites, to the new subscribers. Hit that subscribe button too. Warwana with the 2, he says, take these Xboxes and shill harder than ever before. Dude, there's not going to be anything left. They're not going to be, Warwana, there's not going to be anything left. I don't know what is left. I've been putting out tweets all day, man. I don't look at it. I said this is Asha after she done. Look, where is she? This is what Asha going to look like when she finished. There's Asha right here. Asha Sama when she's done with the restructuring. Right here. Like, yep. Now we cook. Asha's world. Surrounded by AI people, and there she is. There's Asha. She done. Asha after the restructure's done. There she is. I don't know what's left, dude. I don't know what's left. Warwana with the 2, he's a Scalebound being canceled was good for gamers. Yeah, remember? Yo, we'll get back to that history. That is, you guys are going to want to see that. You're going to want to see what, like, it is. You think this is crazy. Wait till you see what the history is. So now, studio shutdowns and rumored layoffs. So now the layoff number has not been rumored out there. But now, just like we spoke about, The Verge now confirms it. Jason Schreier just released this right before the show. So as of right now, there's 3 studios that are fighting. There's studios fighting for their lives right now. So apparently, Compulsion, Ninja Theory, add them to the list. Ninja Theory just got added to the list. At first, it was Compulsion. It was, let me see who they were. So let's get to how these rumors started. It was Compulsion. Get the defibrillator. Yeah, more people leaving. Look at this guy. The Treyarch studio head, Mark Gordon, is retiring after 22 years. So the head of Treyarch studio is leaving as well. I don't know if that's related, but he's gone too. So the head of Treyarch is leaving too, just to wrap up what is going on with that. But apparently, the Compulsion is out there. We Happy Few. There's Ninja Theory and Arcane Austin and canceling Blade. That's the other one. So those are the ones that are out there right now. Arcane, the people that made Deathloop and were working on Blade, apparently. Apparently, Blade is going to get canceled, and Arcane is going to go under. Arcane Leon, the people that made the Game of the Year, whatever, the Deathloop. And then Ninja Theory, which I don't understand how they announced Senua coming out sometime next year. I don't know if that game gets canceled or if somebody else releases it or if it's done. It was Hellblade 2, the rest of the game. I don't know. Hellblade, that was supposed to come out next year, so we don't know what's going to happen if they shut down Ninja Theory. And then Compulsion. And now apparently, and then also Nick just said, and stuff's happening as of right now, Nick just said that there's rumors now Call of Duty studios are shutting down, all but one. So all the fat is getting trimmed. Just like I said, they absorb so much, and now they're getting rid of it all. I don't even know how Ninja Theory's on this list. I would thought Ninja Theory at least was safe until Senua's game comes out. But then to think about it, wasn't it interesting, Grinders? Michael Meridian with the 2, he says, get that defibrillator ready. Xbox is flatlining. Yo, just let it go. Just let it go. I don't know. Now, when you look at this is the thing. Remember when Chris Dring asked Mr. Balls, well, then why is Senua multi-platform, but Gears wasn't? And what did he say? No comment. After Matt Balls ran his mouth about it is a decisive way we're doing exclusives, and we've been looking at a portfolio, and then more are going to come, but we couldn't just give one game out. We had to give 2 games out. Now we had to do to make it look like it was part of it. And then he's like, well, if you have such a process of how exclusives work, then why is Senua coming out on PlayStation and not exclusive. And he said, no comment. Maybe he knows, like, this is their last foray. Maybe they're done. Or maybe they're getting shut down and Senua is not even going to be a thing anymore. But that no comment now rings a different tone to me. Because he ran his mouth like he wasn't like, I'm still learning, I don't know just yet. Dude sounded like he was super confident and was speaking. He knew everything. And then he just got caught. And he's like, well, I caught you on this one. And the guy's like, no comment. Huh. Ninja Theory. I remember watching their videos of why they were purchased by Microsoft. That dude left after Hellblade 2. Remember that crazy dude, the one that the creative director was talking about all the crazy stuff? Dude, that he left right before Hellblade 2, he left. So now, Hellblade might be on the table. Who knows? Maybe Senua gets canceled. Molina gets at the dude. Molina. They're going to kick Molina out. Molina. Yo, you believe this woman, Molina? I can't believe they're going to fire Molina. Grinded, they're going to fire Molina. The face of Senua. She worked at the studio. She was the art director, and she became their mocap person. They're going to put Molina on the streets. How are they going to do that to Molina Juergens? She was all over the place. Silverwolf says, Gaming Grindhouse, if they announce games get canceled, I'm roasting Xbox to no end. They made hit pieces because of canceled Sony games, never announced. Yeah, exactly, Silverwolf. You're welcome on Community Game Night. We got a Community Game Night here because we hit our member goal. We're working on a second community game right now with the members. You can come on that one and grind those gears. Because the grinder got a lot to talk about. I got to get you on the show, the Community Game Nights. But it is crazy. Molina. And Booty's still there, Maker. Booty is still there. Booty's still there. I even tweeted it out. I said, look at this. I said, and somehow Matt Booty is at the top. Look at this. I wrote right here. And Matt Booty sits on top. How is this man still there? How is Matt Booty still there? And because, know why he's there? Because Asha doesn't know, man. That's why. Because Asha has no clue about gaming, and he's her, I told you, he is her confidant. He is her kind of person. You notice his name, all of a sudden, Matt Booty's addressing the studios, and Asha talk about shutting them down and day 100, and Matt Booty's co-signing that. Dude went gone missing for almost 8 years, Matt Booty. Phil brought him out a couple of times for a circus show. And he made some kick-ass coffee. Put the logo in and everything. But Matt Booty, like, he didn't talk shit. He was Booty Gump. I don't say anything. I just stay right here. Matt Booty just stay right there. I don't say anything. I got to pee. Phil's like, don't talk to me. Matt Booty, I told you can sit next to me, but don't talk. Okay, Phil, I won't say a word. Okay, good. Thank you, Booty Gump. All of a sudden, now he's co-signing with Asha, talking about fucking firing people. But, dude, you imagine Microsoft, this is what Asha, she cold-heartedly shuts down Ninja Theory and cancels Senua, and, like, there goes that franchise. Done. We're done. That's it. Just like they killed Conker, just like they killed Perfect Dark. That's why I said when they bought all this IP, I'm like, please don't mess it up because we are going to lose these franchises. And now, because of Microsoft's mess-ups, they could actually just go to hell with Hellblade. And Molina. Poor Molina Juergens. And all the technology that Ninja Theory was doing with Unreal 5. She don't care. She's like, not making money? You go to the streets. And that's why Asha was put there. Because she don't care. She don't have any investment into Helldivers. Hellblade. She probably looked at the numbers saying Hellblade did not perform. Yep. It didn't hit this metric. We are looking for games that make this much money. Games that make a profit are the ones we're keeping. The games and studios that do not make profit in the last year or so, they're gone. How did their last game do? Hellblade 2 was a disaster. It didn't even sell on PlayStation. Nobody wants it. You're gone. And that's how cold-hearted Asha is. And that's her behind the scenes. You saw how cold-hearted she was sitting in front of Xbox fans after she groomed them for 100 days. This is the class of 2018. The studios randomly bought before Zenom. Exactly. That's all of them. Compulsion. And remember, True SSJ, they were brought these people on because they were supposed to fill in the gaps of Game Pass. But they're not making money. They don't need this stuff. This even tells me that Game Pass is going to change completely. I think Game Pass is going to be a bunch of whatever they could get from third-party indies, and maybe they throw their games in there maybe a year or two later. But I think after this year, I think Game Pass is going to be a first party is not going to be in there anymore. I don't think so. I think that's gone too because the whole model of Game Pass is done. So she's going to use third-party partners or whatever like that or play anywhere. I don't know. But these games, these 2018 games, I'm saying after State of Decay launches, dude, they're done too. They're done too. Right after State of Decay 3 comes out because they need content. So why after State of Decay 3 comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if the studio heads, here you go. You want another timestamp right here? Well, let me do my little like flicker off and flicker on so I know when I said this. I wouldn't be surprised that right before State of Decay 3 launches that the studio head leaves or something happens with the studio, and I don't think that studio makes it out after that game. I don't think State of Decay 3. And hence why State of Decay 3 is going to PlayStation. See, now it makes sense because of this Asha Wrath. If you look, the franchises that did not do well, they put them on PlayStation. And people are like, oh, it's because it's a live service game. No, it's not. It's because that studio is not making them money. And they need to put that everywhere to make that money. That's why. They're taking ads in Game Pass, exactly, Silverwolf. But that's why. I bet you that's why Senua and State of K3 showed up on PlayStation is because she's like, these need to make their margins. And if they don't make them, State of K3 is done. That studio, that Dead Labs is done. They're dead. She's making a hard line. Like she said, I don't have 30% accountability margins. And it made it sound like, oh, wow, she's great. She don't really care. She's letting them do what they want to do. No, she's not. She has margins, maybe not 30% because she knows they'll never hit 30%. But maybe she has them at 5%. And anybody coming in under 5, yeah, you are a loss to our company and you got to go. I don't care what you're working on. I don't care what you're making. I don't care who loves the franchises. I don't care what those fans that came over and took pictures with me, the quote weirdos that she called them. Weird. It was weird. People talk about me. It's weird. Well, you took a picture of all of them. I don't care what they think about franchise. I don't care. All I care is they don't hit 5%, they are gone. And they've been setting them up, these studios. And what's crazy is they've been setting up these friggin' studios and like this for the last year. Phil came in with frosted glass over the last 2 years because these studios were not making the money, and they gave them 30% accountability margin. This is the problem. These studios were set up to fail. They threw their game, they absorbed them, they threw their games in Game Pass. They bought third-party publishers that were selling games, and they threw them into Game Pass so they don't sell games. And then they're crying now, going, we're not making any money. We spent all this money on people, but we're not making money. All right, goodbye. And meanwhile, these studios were the experimental mice. These franchises that we play, the content that we buy, they set them up to fail. I said from back in the day in 2018, if you go back and listen to one of my Grindhouse 2 and 3, when I went on a rant about Game Pass, saying how Game Pass is going to hurt the developers. And I even went back further and said everywhere day and date is going to hurt developers. Man, you go back to Grindhouse. It's not even a Grindhouse. It was before the Grindhouse. In 2018, I'll go find it. 2017, when I started this channel. Just go to video live and go oldest and watch those few videos when I go on about day one games and PC. And I said, these studios that Microsoft had, Phil went in there and said, you're making it for PC. You're putting, and I said these studios were not built to do all the configurations of PC and Xbox. And they were stretched too thin. and the quality suffered. And then on top of that, they threw them in Game Pass, so the quality didn't have to be at that point. And that's what I said. I said that these studios were stretched too thin. You're going to put it on every PC, every Xbox. We got to make sure it's cloud capable. Blah 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 blah. No, I didn't do it, William. I'm going to it. Where's William? William, I don't see where your thing is. Oh, I got to go back. Hold on. I missed a couple. Oh, here we go. Let me get back. I missed a couple of these. I didn't heart them. Alonzo with the 5. He says they're not gutting everything. They're gutting flop studios. No one like Clint, SOM, and Hellblade. They did this to themselves. I don't know about that, Alana. I don't know. I think Microsoft set them up, like I was saying. I think Microsoft set them up to fail. I agree that these studios were not making any money, but that's the reason why is because Microsoft didn't nurture them. They bought them, and they said, that's all we're doing. You guys do whatever you want. So I've been saying Microsoft set them up to fail. Glassdoor Game with the 5, he goes, they are the worst company. How do you advertise for a game you showcase and then kill the studio making it? Microsoft is done. Yeah, I got to tell you, Glassdoor, if this is true, this is a complete shit show. If they announce Ninja Theory, or unless they say Ninja Theory will close, or we're going to release Senua, but like Ninja Theory, I don't even know. How do you do that? Unless they cancel Senua. Maybe that's why Matt Ball said no comment. But that'll be some cold-hearted shit, man. You know, that'll be some crazy. Spick and Span with the 5. He goes, the industry is about to crash at the end of this cycle. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony goes in the same direction. Will we get innovative games again after? You know what, Spick and Span, I do. Like, the whole industry is going through shit. I agree. I think Sony's probably going to roast Bungie, and we will roast Bungie, but Bungie's a piece of shit. You know, Bungie went in there and turned over tables like their shit don't smell, and meanwhile, they were shitting up the place. So, like, I think Bungie getting roasted. I think Sony will do layoffs as well. But I really think we need to definitely separate that, yes, the industry is with the increased components and all this other stuff, yes, there are issues. But also, too, you got to look at Nintendo and Sony, and they were able to buy in bulk earlier to try to lengthen and extend this out. Microsoft got caught with their pants down. And meanwhile, they're the ones that caused this this inflation because of AI and cloud, which they were pushing, and they were leading in the conversations. They would know that these components are going to go up. The demand for them are going to go up. They could have stocked them, actually probably beat Sony and PlayStation, PlayStation and Nintendo to the punch. But they didn't. Instead, they go, oh, we weren't expecting this. And it's like, you did it. So I agree that that Sony's probably going to have layoffs, but I think this is not due. Sony's doing naturally because of what's going on and the shit show of Bungie with Marathon not performing. And you could say definitely, I you know what? I could definitely roll a lot of this into that acquisition shit sucked ass. And I was never for that acquisition stuff. I said this is stupid ass shit. Because they're just buying them, not knowing what to do. Bungie, I thought, was a strategic one for Sony, but that was a knee-jerk reaction to the Call of Duty stuff. But Bungie, when they announced Marathon, I'm like, oh, shit, whatever. That sucks. It was bad choices. This acquisition stuff that everybody went crazy on, I think hurt the whole industry. Tencent, all of them. We lost the Tomb Raider. Thank God we're getting Tomb Raider back. Tencent shut down, Volition? The Embracer Group shut down thing. This whole acquisition shit sucked. And I don't think anything really amounted from it. You look at Blue Point and what Sony did. So Sony got roasted with that shit with Blue Point and their service push and stuff like that. But again, the thing is that Sony didn't spend $80 billion. What's happening here, and this is something you just need to kind of say the difference. What happened here is that Sony was aware of PlayStation business. They took bets, and those bets didn't work. The problem here is that Microsoft knew they were taking bets. And all of a sudden, in one fell swoop, with Phil Spencer leaving, Asha comes in, and it's like they discovered water again. They're like, they discovered, like, they walked into the house and go, whoa, they destroyed everything. And the problem is that Microsoft is now admitting that it was never a profitable business. It was totally subsidized for 25 years. This business was never ahead. And you can't say that with Nintendo and PlayStation. So their losses are not the same reason why they were never ahead. This business has been running in the shithole. And now all of a sudden they're done with it. And they're calling it out because there are other businesses in AI and other failures in cloud, and they're not making enough money to subsidize and allow for Xbox to do its shit. And Xbox spent $80 billion, put them on the map, and now everybody wants to go, whoa, you spent that $80 billion in that gaming division. Yeah, we got to take note of that. It's like, oh no, forget about Xbox. They're just like the little extension project team. It's like, no, they spent $80 billion. What's going on with them? Did they make it back yet? Well, check out this AI. No, Satya, you're not doing well. Tell me about that Xbox. And Microsoft now has pressure because AI cloud is not growing the way they want, not buying, not making money after that investment. And they made huge investments in gaming, over $80 billion. Sony didn't do that. So now Satya's business, they're failing. And Microsoft could go down the shithole right now. And they got to scrounge around for money because Microsoft has to get back in good faith because they want to launch Windows 12. That's what all this is. They're getting ready to wipe a new face with Windows 12. So they're going to do all this shit stuff now, erase everything. You've been erased, right? And then launch 12. Windows 12 is a clean new slate. We heard you. We got the Windows Store back, and oh, yeah, there's our services. That's what she's doing. They're doing all their losses now so that they could do the Men in Black, the light in your eye, and say, oh, Windows 12, we heard you. That's what's happening. But yeah, Sony not out of this thing either. But this is a bloodbath over there, dude. And we're going to lose friggin'. This is horrible. Because Microsoft used these studios and the acquisition season and started this whole shit show and made that their PR for years while no games were coming out. And we're like, where are the games? Oh, they're coming. And now they finally put out games. They don't make money. They shut them down. And what's crazy, it doesn't matter if they're award-winning, if they're franchises, and go back to even Hi-Fi Rush. Won awards, shut them down. Compulsion Games, the Peanut Award, whoever they win all the awards, I don't care. They're done. Now I'm making money. So Glassdoor Game with the 2. He goes 4 anniversaries and a funeral. Yeah, happy 25th anniversary nonetheless, too. Holy crap. Xbox still a shit show, still learning. Thank you, Jaguar. Member of 44 months. And then I got those glazed ones, Michael Meridian. These Xbox shows harder than ever. Get the defibrillator. I read that one. Cloud, Jez, you need to bring back that Game Pass song. Games that yo, I played in the beginning. There you go. Since you use your membership, VIP, Cloud Strife, this one's for you, baby.
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Let's to ground Truman Doom. Cause they're all on Game Pass.
Rockport might get canceled too. Thank you, Willie Aguilar. I just went down a whole list, but thank you. I missed a whole bunch of chats, but I got them. Thank you. He says, did you read my post on your channel in the future of Xbox one? Oh, no, I don't remember. I didn't read that one. Check my notifications. Dude, I know. It is going crazy, Grinders. I said here's Asha right here. Stop, enough. She came in like this. Like, she came in like the Silver Surfer. No, it's all likes for people joining the things. You see this thing? Project Helix, shout out to Zubitech, rumor Project Helix could launch without a computer, without a controller. Project Helix, to save money, could launch without a controller. I said, this is going to be kids on Christmas morning trying to play Helix. Zoolander is a funny-ass movie. Those are my notifications. They're from my tweets. Play a song with him, not the one I see. Yo, so I don't know if I can't go back to that. I don't know. Wait, I don't know where it was. I don't want to look for it. But if you wanted to link it, you could link it. I don't know if you can link it there or whatever it is. But let me go into... So Ninja Theory. So right now, this is the article here. So let me get into this article here with the shutdowns here. What they're doing here. Xbox is closing down Ninja Theory, the studio behind Hellblade, a source tells The Verge. Staffers were told on a call Monday about the closure, but they're hoping that the studio will find a buyer. The closure comes as several Xbox studios and Microsoft, including Compulsion Games and Double Fine, are in active negotiations about spinning off. The closure negotiations follow Xbox CEO Asha Sharma and Chief Content Officer Matt Booty, the content guy, warning last week of a reset, laying out several challenging factors of the Xbox business, including that it overextended its studio system and hardware component crisis, driving up prices. Microsoft was planning to shut down Compulsion, though it noted in an update the leadership were in negotiations with Microsoft. Sharma has made many more decisions taking off Xbox, including locking down Gears E-Day and Clockwork as Xbox exclusives, which, again, I don't understand the logic. If you're trying to scrounge around and make every dollar back and profitability and turning this into a business, why would you take off at least Gears off of a 100 million console seller unless you're looking to say, hey, Gears cost, and the rumor was that Gears cost over $400 million to make. And you're taking that risk. I think we covered it here on one of the shows, was that the rumor was that it was leaked about $400 million was said. If that game costs that amount of money and you're pulling it off 100 million potential consoles in a PlayStation that doesn't have Game Pass, and you're scrounging around every single dollar and trying to make a profitability, does that seem like a smart move? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're taking it off of 100 million potential sales on console that doesn't have Game Pass. Your own system is going to be cannibalized by Game Pass. So where it's exclusive on the console, that does not equal purchases. People are just going to play it in Game Pass, especially when it's 2 weeks before Call of Duty, which is not in Game Pass. So you're expecting people to buy Gears, which has a big multiplayer, Horde mode, multiplayer for PvP, and a 14-hour campaign, and then 2 weeks later, buy Call of Duty with their campaign, their zombies or whatever, and multiplayer. You own both studios. Your two massive games that have multiplayer on them, you got them 2 weeks apart from each other. And you want people to buy both of them? When one's in Game Pass and the other one isn't? No, they're going to play Gears in Game Pass and go buy Call of Duty. Greg says, don't squeeze the Sharma. So I think that's it, Don John. I think they're teaching Coalition a lesson. 400 million? Let's see you make that money back. We're putting you exclusive. Like, I can't imagine the Coalition sitting there after seeing what's going on right now with these other studios and screaming from the rooftops, we need to sell our game. Like, I don't understand it. You could tell me in the chat or in the comments below. Hit that like button, please. I don't know if at the Coalition they're not screaming from the rooftops, going like we need to sell Gears, dude, please, because if we don't sell Gears and it gets cannibalized by Game Pass, and we're sitting here in December and January and we're looking, and Asha's like, Gears didn't perform. Gears, it's not on the NPDs because it comes out the same month as Call of Duty, and then right after that is GTA hype. I don't know how you sit back and go like, yeah, Gears didn't perform this holiday season. I don't know what happened. I just don't understand that. There's an Xbox outage right now. Holy shit. Dude, when it rains and pours, are you serious? Is there really? Yeah, see? Look at this. Now, Don't Nod, developer of games like Life is Strange, will see its cash reserves depleted by November as Tencent has no intention to further invest. There you go. All these acquisitions. Don't Nod. Now that Don't Nod is now Tencent don't want them. And now Sneakers put that, shout out to Zuby. See, this is crazy. We have to do this live. That's why Grind. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, yeah. YouTube doesn't let me link or mention X. All right, I'll Can you hit me in the DM or tag it or something like that, or just a video on where to look? Is it in the comment section? So Sneakers goes, Xbox already looking to reverse course on exclusives. I know for a fact the true picture of their financial situation really didn't enter the discussion until 3 to 4 weeks ago. Exclusive talk was nothing more than a show convention season. Oh, already there's talk about how to reverse course on it. See, I don't even. So there you go. I was just talking about it, about how it doesn't make sense. If you're a coalition, you got to be screaming. You've seen these studios come down with Asha. You got to be going like, oh my God, we got to sell our game while Asha going to shut us down. So I'm sure Coalition is fighting for their life right now, saying we need to sell Gears. So put it on PlayStation because Game Pass is not there. We're going to get cannibalized. So there may be a reversal. Dude, if there's some sort of, listen, if there's some sort of reversal, it really is like I said, that other shoe was going to drop. I did an emergency podcast 2 weeks ago, last week. This is emergency podcast number 3. I don't know how many emergencies we're going to have. But, like, if they reverse course on this exclusive stuff and it was just for that, like, that little pop to get in the crowd, like, what she thinks? She's wrestling? And she goes,
How about those exclusives? How about those exclusives?
Oh, man. Asha. Man, I can't believe I got you the Asha Ness, man. Yo. If you reverse on that, the grind isn't going to get sick of me playing that soundbite. You know I'm going to keep playing it. But it's crazy, dude. If they do reverse it. Oh, my God. Tim Dog? Yo, Tim Dog will crash out. He'll go. Dude, I think we'll find. Yo, if this happens, if they reverse course on the Gears exclusives or the compulsion stuff, because again, it's like her first 100 it makes no sense. It makes no friggin' sense. If they're shutting down studios to try to make that accountability margin, like she said, by the end of this year, you got to make every single dollar back for every game, and that means you got to release Gears everywhere. And I'm not one of those people, exclusives are bad. But, dude, in the world that they're talking about right now, like, I don't give a shit. Make it exclusive. Do it. Pull it off a PC. That's what I said. Pull it off a PC. Do it. If it's about exclusives, then do it. But don't do it and going, well, yeah, we're shutting down all these studios and canceling Hellblade and shutting down Compulsion and canceling Blade and all this stuff just so we could get a little pop. So, but if they review it, dude, if they reverse this thing, I think we'll finally see a full Glaze go down from Glaze 5 to Glaze 2. We've never seen it before. Nobody's come back from a Glaze level 5. But if this happened, they reverse this thing, Tim Dog, I think, will be the first ever to come back from a Glaze level 5. And then we'll get him on the show. And then he comes in my treatment area. Once we get him down to a Xbox Glaze level 4, then the towels and the staff could at least clean up the glaze. Right now, it's a cellular glaze with Tim Dog. We can't fix him. He's gone. Level 5. But if we get him down to 4, 100 days of emergencies, then my program could work. The deglazing program works. Show him a couple of videos, show him a couple of quotes, play him a couple of clips.
How about those exclusives?
Get the towels, the lotions, the team of people here. I brought extra staff in, and the deglazing process begins. We could bring them back. But now, the level 5. Level 5, there's no, that's it. That's it. There's level 5. We don't come back. You don't come back from level 5. But if this reverses, man, we might see our first ever return from a level 5. But now, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense. Asha, make it exclusive. Do what you want to do. But if you are shutting down studios to save a buck, I don't know how you do not make this thing on PlayStation. Because, again, I'm not saying PlayStation fans, that people are going to buy this game over there. But the thing is like, the Game Pass does not exist on PlayStation. So whatever it does on PlayStation is a sale. By you locking it down, while you putting it on Xbox, you're not selling it on Xbox. And you already confirmed that you lose money on console. So the worst thing that could happen was that you put Gears on Xbox and somebody goes out and buys a Series X. You lose $100 on the X because of the components, if it's available. and then you lose money when they don't buy the game. And they sign up for a few weeks and then go buy Call of Duty. It makes no logical sense at all in the world of we need to make money. If you want imaging and branding and stuff, then do the exclusives. But know that you're not going to make money. Or you're going to make less of it. So, and I just hope it don't yield more closures. So let's go down, man. I don't even know what's going on. Craig Duncan has stepped down his role. We're just going to scroll down X, man, and see what's going on, man. Oh, my God. They all jumped in Tim Dog space. Uh-oh. What is this? What happened?
They're up to 30 million.
Oh, my God.
Well, they were aiming for 100 by now, weren't they? 100 million by now, I think, weren't they? And they're way off that. What, are they up to 30? They're up to 30 million, aren't they?
Oh, man.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Now I'm going to add on to it. If it was so-called successful, Game Pass should have had 50 million by now. It ain't nowhere near that shit.
How much does Game Pass generate?
It's under 30 million.
It is.
It's decreasing
If
day by
Game
day.
Pass was so successful, it should be at 100 million right now because Game Pass came out
Get him,
10
Persona.
years ago, not 5 years
But
ago.
who said
Game
Xbox
Pass
was
has
really
been around-
successful?
Game
Who
Pass
said
has
that
been
it wasn't
around
really
for
successful?
10 years.
Xbox wasn't really, but it still generates more revenue than Nintendo.
Everybody using the new logo, I say.
Revenue and profits, and then Nintendo makes so much.
Yo, you are all over the place when it comes to the conversation.
As far as profit,
There's a difference between revenue and profit,
Xbox
Matt.
or PlayStation revealed their net income or net
Yo,
profit.
I'll
Neither
tell
of
you
them
like
do.
this. There is no game on Xbox, both past, present, or future, that will ever match the popularity or sales of a Nintendo first. A Nintendo first.
Oh, I'm not arguing. I said, did you hear what I said earlier, lads?
Zelda coming out, so watch out.
Lads,
Okay, let me.
I said to you earlier, sorry lads, I said
Matt.
to you earlier at the school I'm in, all the mothers, all the teachers, all have Nintendos in their house.
I get that, Matt. Let me talk. Let me get some unfiltered
Yeah,
thoughts
sorry,
first, and
sorry.
I'll and then I'll heed control. But
Yeah,
like,
sorry, yeah.
So let me explain. For some reason, a lot of people tend to conflate revenue with profit, which that's not the same thing. I took a look at the numbers. Xbox made roughly $29 billion in revenue. However, they lost $1 billion total, so that means their expenditures was over $30 billion.
They spend $1 billion in Game Pass, don't they, each year to put games on Game Pass? I think that on the
spend
service.
way more, but they spend
I don't know what to say, Grinders.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
May God have mercy on your soul. Dude. Persona need like 3 cigarettes after that thing. I don't know what he did. Shout out to Persona, man. He's like, yo, he's probably going to the bar right now. He's like, yo, what the hell that thing was, dude. You're not. That was a full-on Glaze 5 session, Persona. I told you, there's no coming back, man. They're going to talk numbers. They're going to try to justify. Oh, that's okay. They cancel it. Just like when Phil canceled Scalebound. Oh, he'll make it up for us. He'll make it up for us. Oh, he told us he'll make up Street Fighter going exclusive. He'll fix it. Asha gonna fix it. She'll make it better. She said, listen, she wouldn't give out Xboxes if they were making money. She wouldn't be giving out the green Xboxes. Asha wouldn't be at FanFest with 5 levels of catering if they weren't making. It's okay. It's just these studios are not good. Dude, Glaze level. Xbox level 5. See you, Ron. Thanks for coming by. Hit that like button before you leave, Ron. Yeah, Persona was a 20v1. Yo, Persona is just like, yo, he has like a whole 3 cigarettes. He's just like, holy shit. Now, this is the one that, yo, this will grind in my gears. When I saw this before the show, yo, hit that like button, grinders. Well, over 345 people in here. Hit that freaking like button. You chat me in that video. Microsoft might just sell Xbox. Yes, I know, Lunchi, man. It is deglazing the news is hard work. I might need a walk around the block after this at nighttime. But this is the thing that I gotta do to talk about. Yo, Aaron got a VIP. He's enjoying all that extra VIP content that I provide. That's what Aaron is. He's watching the old videos. He's like, holy shit. He's like, wow, Aaron. He's posting on my old videos. But anyway, it's a super. Oh, I can't even filter. All right, I'll take a quick look. Let me see about the. But I have to keep the flow going. One thing I wanted to say in Double Fine. Remember, Double Fine was trying to unionize too about a month ago, last month. But the thing is now is that these studios that Microsoft acquired, they are now negotiating with Microsoft for their independency. They're like, please don't shut us down and fire all of us. Let us have the ability to either, I don't know, buy themselves out or keep the company and keep their structure. And I swear, I hope they let them keep their IP. I hope. And they'll all let us get a bias. See, that's what happened with Hi-Fi Rush. That's what happened with Tango. Tango got absorbed by Kraft. Ketchup. Not Kraft Ketchup, but Kraft Hun. And Kraft Hun saved that studio. It was not Microsoft's doing. Microsoft said, okay, if somebody wants to buy you, let them buy you. You could go out and see if somebody wants to buy you. If they're going to buy you, they could pay us. But you're gone. To us, you're gone either way. Whether you're out on the streets or whether somebody's buying you, congratulations, but you're all gone from us. And I hope they let them keep their IP. Because if Microsoft's like, well, we'll keep you could be their thing, but we're keeping some of your IP. So I hope that Microsoft doesn't play the sleaze game and do like what they did with Lionhead, where they shut them all down and said, we're keeping Fable, and didn't even allow them to survive. Lionhead was known for Fable and stuff, and they made sure that Lionhead will never exist again. And they rot in hell because they took away their identity. And I hope they don't do that to these studios. Like they'd say, Ninja Theory, we're shutting you down, and we're going to keep Hellblade, though, because we may want to make Hellblade down the line. Same thing they're doing with Fable. You know, when they shut down Lionhead, they said, and we're keeping Fable, and somebody else will make it. And that's what they're doing now. See? They brought back Fable. Playground Games is making Fable. And maybe Senua, Hellblade, they go, oh, you know what? We will have people finish up Hellblade. You could go, Ninja Theory. Go make Project Mara. You could go make whatever Project Goofy shit you want to do. But we're going to keep Hellblade. Yeah, it's down. The guy killing you? I don't know. Xbox is down too, man, supposedly. Microsoft, we keep killing. Clean. But I hope they give these studios their identity. Like, you know, because if they kind of say, well, Double Fine, you could stay there, but, you know, we're going to keep, like, Psychonaut franchise. I hope not. But the thing is that if those... Remember how aggressive Booty was. Where, like, well, if you're working on something, that's ours. When he first went over to Double Fine. If you're keeping something, that's ours. No, well, we do freelance stuff. No, you don't do freelance stuff. That's ours. And I hope Microsoft doesn't say, well, we're keeping all your IP. You studios can go find the buyer, but you can't make that franchise because that franchise is associated with us. You know, Ninja Theory, somebody wants to buy you? Sure. But we keep Hellblade. And Ninja Theory then has to go make something else with somebody else. The problem is that if they don't do that, those studios, see, the thing is, the IP is the value. The staff is very important, but the IP is the value. So if Microsoft allows them to be purchased, they got to say, well, that IP that we want to make movies on, we want to associate with, that IP is ours. If we make you take that IP with you, now you become more valuable to a buyer, but we now don't have it. And it's similar to what Toys for Bob did, where Microsoft was probably planning to have them just support Call of Duty studios. And Toys for Bob said, we want to go independent. And at the time, Microsoft said, sure, that's fine. And then they were able to work with Microsoft and say, well, we want to make Spyro, but we don't want to work on Call of Duty. And because they were independent, they asked Microsoft, can we create Spyro? Because Microsoft owned the IP, and they were able to work on it. But I don't think if they didn't go independent, they will be doing Spyro. because Microsoft probably had them planned to do Call of Duty updates. So I don't know. And I don't know if Sony's in the business of buying anybody, but Compulsion, we knew 6 years, even though that game South to Midnight won awards and stuff, and they were putting it on PlayStation, I think the game didn't sell. And Asha is a cold-hearted business person. Cold-hearted business. So she is just looking at a line, and if you are under that line, you're not going to make Microsoft and Satya money, and you are gone. And how they let you go? They let you go. This is day 2, day 3, day 5 of 100 days of Asha. She's not done. So maybe if they miss this wave this month, there's another wave coming maybe at the end of the summer or maybe at the holidays where they like to let people go. Yeah, remember Be About Microsoft was going to buy Sony? Yeah, I remember. They wanted Microsoft to buy Sega and everybody. And I'm like, for what? They said, just to buy them. And then here you go. Post from Compulsion Games developers. Looking for work already. Zaire, that girl, this guy, Zaire. He says, not the Zaire, not next gen. But he said, if anyone's looking to hire a Peabody and BAFTA winner senior writer, I'm looking for work. I've got 6 years experience in games, everything from indies to AAA. I'm not married to staying in games. I hope to relocate to the Bay Area, keeping my ears and ground open. That's somebody from Compulsion Games. This is crazy, dude. And what's sad is these are the people that are at the mercy of the stupid executives like Satya and Phil and Booty of all of them. Man, I have not seen more people fail under that man. Enough of jokes about his name. In all seriousness, that man has destroyed all of Xbox software division. Matt Booty destroyed it. And I don't know what great Minecraft work he did over at Mojang that he got into this position, but he has fell upward, and that man has destroyed everything. There was so many delays. Every game was delayed. Redfall, Starfield, Halo was a disaster. Crackdown 3, everything. That man destroyed everything. 6 years to make a Forza Motorsport. What the hell were you doing, Matt Booty, overseeing them? 6 years for Forza Motorsport, no content. What were you doing at Halo? Bonnie Ross, she was living at Microsoft since the beginning of the Halo days. You managed to get her fired because you, first of all, showed Craig, and I don't know who approved that footage. I don't know how he did. I have no clue. But every single, and Gears 5, Rod Ferguson leaves before the game launches. Hellblade 2, the creative director that reports to Booty leaves before the game launches. Bonnie Ross gets fired. Halo Studios 343 turns into Halo Studios. That's how bad Halo Infinite was. I do not understand how he's really still there. I just don't get it. And now he's going to be the one shutting all of them down. So this was Jason Schreier's article that before the thing. What I said about stuff. Yeah, we're just going to go run down these news articles, Grinders, and then I'm going to show you some history. So hit that like button. Here. Seems like the Xbox of the third week of June looks much different than the Xbox of the first week of June. Jason Schreier says, no. The layoffs are happening at the end of the fiscal year on June 30th. Right now, information is being disseminated to studios and leaking out, and plans are being finalized. And then he says, these are not the only 3 Xbox studios at risk of closure, but there's still a lot of uncertainty surrounding the company's plans. More to come in the next few days and weeks. Safe to say the Xbox of July will look drastically different than the Xbox of June. Okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a quick look. It's from the last video. Do we have over 100 likes here? Hit that like button, Grinders. Yeah, we got 106. Let's try to get 200 likes. That'll be the first ever live. 200 likes. That'd be incredible. I'll take a look on my channel. You said it was a chat or a comment? Was it a chat or a comment, William? He said it doesn't link me from X, but it's my. Is it a post? Or is it on my video? Which video? I don't know. Just put it in the chat. Say what's there. But Jason's trying, dude. Oh, Xbox is back now. It's back. Hey, Play Beyond, I got something for you.
How about those exclusives?
No social media on X? All right, on X. You did a post? Oh my God, dude. I don't know if I can read all that. So William's saying, he says that he's saying here, this is it? Yes, they're saying today's awkward position, just 4 games come on PlayStation. He says they have gone from just 4 games to the case by case. Flagship IP coming to PlayStation by case, which, yeah, they're doing the same thing there. I support Xbox when they created and acquired several studios like The Initiative and Obsidian, and believe that they would bolster exclusive output and compete with PlayStation. However, I'm opposed to the purchase of a publisher like ABK because of the two of them for the outcomes. These were your possibilities. When did you post this? Oh, back in 2024? You said Xbox got easily past the regulators and decided to make all games exclusive? Yeah, well, that didn't happen. If Xbox became overextended by the cost to acquire ABK, they would need the return on investment, would force them to leave behind exclusivity and become full third party, similar to Sega. That's what they did, thus reducing the amount of competition in the console space. This is what happened. As for my speculation, Xbox will most likely be thousands of developers will shut down several studios, and it's implied in her 5th point. The next 100 days Xbox reset. Xbox will continue to bring most of the games to Steam and PlayStation, but periodic exclusives. So that's even being talked about as being reversed too. He's saying Xbox Helix Mini PC will be their last-ditch effort to carve out space. Well, Satya doesn't talk about hardware, so I see that. In regards to Game Pass, they keep launching games on day one. They will roll multiple Office subscriptions together. Oh, that's not good. We don't want that. But I think that was the post, right? But yeah, dude, I see. He says the last chance. If it fails, they'll most likely try to sell to Elon Musk. Oh, no. He's the only one that could afford it. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if they'll sell to somebody specifically, but yeah, Mr. Grimm, buying Activision didn't help at all. It didn't. No. That's what put them on the map. And then here's Jason Schreier. Yeah, so what he's saying, several Xbox studios, Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and Double Fine are negotiating as they try to avoid closure. Some could all spin off. But they're trying to spin off, dude. Still in flux. A lot of studios may show up. One thing I want to just talk about the studios is, let me ask you something. Right? Oh shit, this thing's over here. Let me ask you something. How does this look for Xbox partners? How does this look for that indie developer that wants to put a game on Xbox? How does this look to third-party publishers looking at this? Strauss Zelnick must be ready to drive a car through Xbox headquarters right now. This Xbox restructuring and letting go of IPs and studios and these internal things, I'm sure is not a good look for people and confidence in the brand. And what's crazy is everything that, I don't know why she wasted the 100 days of glazing everybody to think that she was different, just to pull the rug from them the next day on day 101. It is diabolical. There was like, if this was her plan, and what's crazy is, let's go back to some of the tapes grinders. Yeah, we know who we're talking about. Let's go back to some of the tapes grinders in February when Asha took over, right? Again, I don't know how this man is still there. I don't know how this man is still there. But Matt Bootylicious said this in February. If I can find it. I think it was before this. Matt Booty, in his interview, no layoffs at Xbox as a result of leadership shakeup. New Chief Content Officer Matt Booty says, my focus is on supporting the teams and leaders we have in place and creating the conditions for them to do their best work. In February 2026, because everybody thought that Asha was going to come in, AI, and just, that's right, Playbeyond says this is a terrible look. I wouldn't want to do business with them. Exactly. I know. Square and Sega crapping their pants right now. Xbox already skipped. Devs avoiding working at Xbox. There's no, and that's the other thing. Space money is a good point there. What about working for them? Remember when they got all these studios? They did like recruitment videos and stuff to work at Xbox, and they showed them having lunch and having tea and coffee and all that other stuff in the break room. Oh, they're like, I'm like, is this about a game or is this? Why is that dude happy? Cartwheel call. Why is that lady riding a moped? Oh, we just do whatever we want at Xbox Studios. Oh, they made it look like a recruitment video. And Matt Booty in February. No. They thought Asha was going to come in and clean house. Like, oh, no, we're not, no layoffs. And then what the rumors are is that apparently these layoffs were all postponed because Asha had to come in and evaluate the business. She was the outsider. And then when she started surrounding herself with all of her AI team and everybody with the word Xbox in their name got booted. And then she just did, again, sleazy wins. Remember they were going after to Mr. Henderson. Oh, she did very low-hanging fruit wins. A logo, a this, a that, just the Xbox feedback wire and shit like that. She was ready to make her big move here.
How about those exclusives?
She was infiltrating like a Terminator, like a T-1000. Oh, show me what you do here. Oh, yeah, we don't need them. Who do you talk to? I talk to the business people. But doesn't Matt Booty talk to the business people? Yeah, but I'm a people person. Yeah, we don't need them. That's office space right there for you. So, Matt Booty said, no, there's nobody firing. We're good. And I said, Matt Bowles. There's Matt Bowles right there. There's Mr. Bowles. And actually, what's crazy is that this person right here, I was replying to this guy. This person here, Chris Avalone, who's a dev writer on Planscape. So he posted about how apparently Microsoft Studios, who have been told in the past that layoffs wouldn't affect them, are getting a different message now after the recent announcements. Formerly safe studios now telling employees they aren't sure about how management changes will impact the studio. A lot of uncertainty, even with the studios who have had steady releases on the Microsoft. That could be Obsidian. Not sure if and when layoffs are coming, but if you think you might be affected, let me know in my DMs. I'll signal blast resumes and stuff. And then I said, yep, there it is. And he goes, I had totally forgotten about this article and quote, thanks, seriously. You totally forgot about that. Matt Booty said, I'm just supporting the devs. There's no layoffs. Grindhouse remembers. Grindhouse always remembers. But it is just a horror show. Now, it is just bad, and I expect to have more emergency podcasts. Last year, Compulsion Games Studios' role within Microsoft, the quote, was not to make blockbusters like Call of Duty, but to provide games that added distinctiveness or create projects that add diversity to the portfolio. Asha ain't looking for diversity. Asha's not looking for diversity. She's looking for money. She's looking for who goes above my threshold of making money. That's what she's doing. She don't want to build portfolios of diversity and different like small games and and have a diverse portfolio of. We have some indie games. We're gonna have some like passion projects. We're gonna have some multiplayer games. She just wants whatever makes money and cut it out. And that's what she's on. So she is the anti-Phil. She is the opposite of what Xbox as a gaming platform. It's a business now. It is not a gaming machine. It is not a thing to make games. It is a thing to make money. And Satya said that fully. So let me ask you again, Grinders.
How about those exclusives?
That quote's going to hit hard. And it's even going to hit harder when we do this. Let's go back in time, Grinders. Hit that like button. And for those that I hear, hit the like button because these are the receipts that you're going to see the essence of the Gaming Grindhouse podcast. This is the stuff that people don't remember. This is the stuff that people want to forget, that people don't realize that I've been covering this stuff from the passion I had for this brand and watching its demise over these years. And what I've learned following Microsoft and watching what they do is that they are the Xbox Matrix. They do the same stuff. That's how I said about Ninja and Shroud. I saw what they did with Mixer, and then I saw what they did with ABK and ZeniMax, just throwing money at a problem, and now look where they are. Too much money was spent, and we're not growing fast enough. Shut it down. And now it was a dichotomy of exactly what that was. But what's even crazier, Grinders, what's even crazier, and please hit that like button. Let's try to get to 200 likes. I appreciate all the support. You've been cooking today. But let me tell you this. We need to go back to when Mr. Satya started at Xbox. Because you could see what's happening this week coming from a mile away. When Satya showed up, Microsoft considered pulling the plug on Xbox back in 2014. It was reported in 2020. And this was a quote. Because remember, Phil Spencer, man, Phil, you know Phil.
I don't know. Like, I'd have to go back.
If this was an Xbox channel, it'd be called the Gaming Graveyard. Dude, it's deglazing the news because as a true Xbox fan, we joke about them. They are a comical act. Those executive teams are a piece of shit. I hate them all. I hate executives. They don't belong in gaming at all. Just make us great games that I could buy. But Microsoft just puts themselves out there, and they just cannot just make great games and shut the hell up. So watch this. Speaking, Phil Spencer didn't shut up. So back in 2020, Phil Spencer told them that, speaking Exec News, Spencer highlighted, this is how Satya viewed Xbox. Get ready, Grinders. We're going back in time. This is going to be very interesting. Spencer highlighted how the Xbox team became separated following the departure of Xbox Don Matrick and Xbox Chief Product Officer Mark Whitten. He was the Xbox Live guy. When Nadella came on as CEO of Microsoft in February 2014, the future of Xbox was ultimately in question. So this is Phil's quote. So Satya becomes the CEO in February. Then the question is, do we go forward with Xbox? Because we're getting really outsold by PlayStation in the market at this point. Do we stay invested in it? Or do we make a different decision? He and I had a discussion, and I made a pitch. I said, quote, gaming can be really important customer category for the company. He didn't quite understand it yet. Not from an intelligence standpoint, but he hadn't been close to it. He was willing to make a bet on us as a team. Phil Spencer said, the Xbox One launch was marred by heavy focus on the multimedia capabilities. Remember, he's saying gaming as an entertainment device, Satya, talking right now, right? 24 login. Spencer, who was head of first party at the time, went on to explain what might seem somewhat clear to others to take over Matrick's old role. And in some ways, quote, the last person left at the table. Phil Spencer said he was the last person left at the table. Quote, I think the reason I ended up in the job, frankly, was that the other leaders were gone. I teased myself that I was the last person left at the table, and there's some truth to that. I want to make sure I keep my ego in check. You didn't do that over there. It wasn't a clear, you take the person who ran first party and make them head of platform. But frankly, of the leaders that were there, I was the only one left. Phil Spencer. So Satya didn't know Xbox, didn't care to know it. It was not a business to him. It was a freak show. They were just doing their own thing. Wild, right? Like I said, we always go back to the quotes because it is like reading them now. They have such a different perspective knowing what has happened and what was going on. That's why I do this. Because this is complete insight to like what's going on. I know people don't want to hear it. They want to pretend that Xbox was fine for all these years. Well, that's a Glaze level 4 or 5. You could go listen to all those guys telling you it's been fine. Paris and Old Friends. One Night in Paris. All of them. It's fine. And then when all the shit goes down and these studios are getting closed, everybody's like, oh my God, what happened? Dude, this has been in the cards. And the reason why I went back was because, dude, 2016 was the transfer year. 2016 was when they did their last big shutdown and pivot of Xbox. Almost 10 years close to the date. And I think it would have been to the date if Asha didn't come in February or March. Because in 2026, Satya, the 10-year plan, I remember Phil talking about a 10-year plan. The 10 years are up. Phil even said, if we don't hit numbers of Game Pass by 2027, Xbox is done. We are here. He said that under oath during the ABK deal. We are here. And this was the last big one. And it is eerie reading this. So back in 2016, when the big thing happened. So in 2015, they had Gears. They did the exclusive. They had Gears Ultimate. They did the exclusive of Tomb Raider for a year. Square Enix screwed them, told everybody it was a 1-year exclusive, kind of caught them with their pants down. They had Halo 5 and Fable Legends that was coming out the next year. After that, 2015, Halo didn't do numbers. That's the infamous canceled Scalebound in 2016 and did this. Today, I have some difficult news to announce to some of our Microsoft studios and projects in the UK and Denmark. After much consideration, we decided to cease development on Fable Legends. On discussions with employees to propose closure of Lionhead Studios in the UK. We will close Press Play in the Denmark studios and sunset development on Project Knoxville. These have been tough decisions we don't make lightly, nor the reflection of these development teams. We're unfortunate that the studios team, Lionhead, is delighted millions of fans. The Fable series over the past decade. Press Play, the industry with creative spirit behind the scenes, Max, Curse of the Brotherhood, and Kalimba, which was captured passionate fans. Changes taking effect as Microsoft Studios continue focuses on its investment and development on games and franchises that fans find most exciting and want to play. Grinders, Xbox Matrix, 10 years later, what are we doing here? They did the same thing. They said nobody wants to play these games, so we are now going to refocus on more exciting games and games that people want to play. She's doing the same exact thing. Getting rid of these little games that Microsoft invested in and saying we just want to make the ones that make money. That's it. We just want to make the money. We don't care about these other games. That's why we're shutting them down. And it goes here. I speak for all the Xbox when I say, despite this news, we will remain committed to the development of communities of UK and Europe. Xbox will continue to support new IP and originality in games on platforms, whether they're AAA blockbusters like Quantum Break. Oh, shit.
I mean, I don't know. Like
from Remedy, or new IPs like Sea of Thieves from Rare.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
or unique creations from independent developers like Moon Studios.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
Rest for the Wicked is an Xbox skip. They said no thanks. With Ori, we have nothing but a heartfelt thanks for the members of Lionhead and Press Play for their contributions to Xbox and gaming. We're committed to work closely with those affected by today's news. Wow. How eerie crazy is that? And you want to know what? Let's give a good, let's get a, remember these people?
He went more than a little bit of a surprise.
Remember this video?
Their well-known but often contentious Fable series certainly doesn't have the clout that it used to, I guess.
Yeah, this closure also means the cancellation of Fable Legends, the free-to-play co-op adventure RPG, which has, at least from the outsider perspective, had some troubled development. The game was originally slated to come out back in 2015, but was light on details for a crazy long time until very late last year.
Lionhead at one point admitted they did a pretty bad job explaining what the hell the game even was. The game is currently in closed beta, although now I guess it's just in closed.
Ouch. It'll never be more than a Fable or Legend. Too soon, Eddie.
Jokes.
Yeah, as for Press Play, their current game, Project Knoxville, was also canceled. Project Knoxville was a third-person survival multiplayer title where players work together and against one another to escape an arena filled with enemies.
The whole thing was very early in development, and Press Play even let fans vote on it against some other concepts to decide if the game should be produced. It looked like it had an interactive game show component to it as well, much like the popular modes we've seen on games like Ark Survival Evolved.
Now, this announcement from Microsoft comes right after some rough times over the last few weeks and doesn't mark the only trouble by studios partnering with the company. Back in February, Motiga, developers of the upcoming Xbox One MOBA Gigantic, announced a substantial round of layoffs.
And of course, if you've been following the know, you're mega informed about what happened with Microsoft last week, right?
Indeed. A quick recap for the TLDR crowd. Gamers were upset about Quantum Break streaming cutscenes and being Windows 10 only. Rise of the Tomb Raider's PC version doesn't really act like a PC game. Phil Spencer made some comments about Xbox turning into an upgradable PC. And finally, Epic CEO Tim Sweeney completely trashed the Universal Windows platform and called it the most aggressive move Microsoft has ever made.
Nice summer.
Wow. How times have changed? I think not. I think not. Times have not changed, dude. That was 10 years ago. Sounds like it could be just like today's news. This is how they used to share the news back then. We had actually news people reading the news. Nothing has changed. Isn't it crazy?
Right. Someone at Microsoft needs to check to make sure they haven't recently disturbed an Indian burial ground or something. That's a very bad week.
Yes, but there's probably a different explanation for all of these headaches, besides Indian burial grounds, of course. Get your tinfoil hats on, kids, because we're about to dive into conspiracy theories, y'all.
Now, the main thread of last week's controversies for Microsoft were all related to the same thing, the Universal Windows platform.
Basically, it's Microsoft's ubiquitous platform that'll allow developers to build a single application that works across any Windows-enabled device. And according to Tim Sweeney, is Microsoft's attempt at a PC gaming monopoly.
Now, we've got an anonymous source close to the situation, and according to them, UWP and crossplay may be part of the reason some of these studios are running into
Man, UWP went away too.
Guys, we journalized.
Now, to be clear, this is a single source, so it's not corroborated at this time. However, it does give us some additional insight into what's happening backstage with this whole thing.
And while they're close to the situation, the source has also passed on details they can't confirm personally, so some of this might be conjecture, but it's more educated conjecture than most of us get when we're outside of the situation.
Expectations set? Cool.
All right, according to our source, development for UWP was a significant factor to some of the setbacks encountered on a number of crossplay titles for Windows and Xbox, which would include both Fable Legends and Gigantic. Now, from what we understand, there may have been development milestones built around the integration of UWP for some of those studios.
Craziness.
Now, the way these milestones typically work in game development is that the next round of funding
I
isn't
knew you'll
delivered
like it.
until
This
the
is the
milestone is met.
classics.
So in this case, if
10
the studio
years.
had problems integrating UWP, it could have affected their payment.
Which seems to have been the case here. So if you want to get paid, now you're spending critical development time that lasts 6 to 9 months heading up to the release that's usually focused on polishing and balancing, trying to work on non-gaming features as opposed to finishing up your games.
Now, the problem with UWP integration is that its functions basically
Yeah, well, UWP was never a thing. What else they say?
already, which
Well, this is all the UWP. What I wanted to do, enough. UWP never happened. But you see the push of Microsoft trying to do stuff 10 years ago, right? Let me let you know, everybody talking about Fable, right? When Lionhead got shut down, right? Look at these comments. The first 2 Fable games are the only good ones. 224 likes. So Microsoft is to the gaming industry what Machinima is to YouTube. And my dreams of a proper Fable 4 game have gone up in smoke. Anyone check on Jeff? I know Fable is one of his favorites. Damn, even after Fable 3, I still love the Fable series. Sucks to how they closed them. Rest in peace, Lionhead. You'll never be forgotten. I couldn't have waited until we get Fable 2 anniversary. Rest in peace, Fable. I played Fable Legends, and it's a bit, I can say, missing out on much. Maybe they can get a new studio to revive the feeling. 10 years later, we still haven't played it yet, dude. The Blue Sensei. I'm here from the future. We got Monty McFly in the chat. We're telling you, we still haven't played the new Fable game. It's 10 years later. Know how you cut it. This is a bad organization on Microsoft's part. It's never good when a publisher shuts down a studio and stops a game's production this late into development. The movies are good. I knew Fable Legends was going to suck the moment I played the beta. Wow, Fable Legends had a ton of heart and put into the game and watched a bunch of making of videos, artists, devs, and put love into that game. I love the first 2 Fable games. I was so looking forward to Fable Legends. There you go. So grinders. Yep. That. Remember that. And look where we are today. After they bought all those studios and pivots, and they used all that money to offset their costs. I said, happy anniversary, Xbox. And it's the 25th year anniversary. And it's only Monday. And it's Gaming Grindhouse Monday. But grinders, I really, like, it is absolutely insane, all the stuff that's going on. And I really think that, yeah. Like, it's crazy. That's a decade ago. I was doing my research on it. And if you go look at the timelines, Satya really never believed in Xbox. He never really, he never really believed in it. And now he's coming out. And what's crazy, if you go search online, right, and you look for like Satya talking about the Xbox business, there's not a lot. They go to this interview from last week. That was the first time he cold-heartedly talked about the Xbox business, and his first words were, we need to make money. We've been subsidizing the business, and people on YouTube make more money on our games than we do. That's some wild shit coming from the Satya. And he's pulling full thing in Asha as to go in there and just gut it. And they're gonna cancel games, maybe rethink exclusivity. I really don't. The thing with exclusivity, they want to do it, and again, like, take the risk, then let them do it. But the problem is that I really hope that they don't shut down the coalition and set them up. Like, hey, your game may not sell, and next year you're going to be on the cutting block. But she says 100 days, dude. That's a long time, and this is a lot of movement in a short amount of time. Like, she came out day 101 and basically dropped the memo of threat. And now we're on the Monday after the memo of threat on the 3rd emergency meeting. And we already have a hit list of like 3 studios that are going. And they're begging to be, and they're trying to negotiate that they stay open or get purchased so that they don't just send them out in the streets and dissolve the studio with the IP and everything. And maybe Microsoft keeps the IP. But this is their anniversary, man. And I don't even know how Asha could show up with a straight face or send Major Nelson out. She's not going. They send Major Nelson out on a global tour for Xbox Fan Fest and have the nerve to show up at Gamescom and stuff like that after this. Like, I don't know, man. And Arcane is one of those studios, right? We got another one more. I'll give you one more quote from the booty. Right? You want another quote? Watch this one. Ready? Matt Booty says that, We're like, where's Blade? Just last week, June 10th, Matt Booty says, dude, this is why this man was kept in a closet and away. Booty Gums said, there's going to be a place and day for Blade and Elder Scrolls 3 and 6. Oh, that's 6. I got to pay. Booty Gump. That's why this man didn't talk. Phil Spencer, one smart thing Phil Spencer allowed, Matt Booty does not speak because anything he says is shit. We're talking about Arcane Leon being shut down and Blade canceled. This man on June 10th was like, Xbox says that we didn't make it into the showcase. They asked him specifically, Matt Booty, there was no Blade in this year's showcase. I was hoping for Blade. When we'll see it? He's like, it's a big show. We can't fit everything in. It's a big show. He says, it's a big show. I can't fit everything in. Pause. Oh, my God, Matt Booty.
How about those exclusives?
Yo, quote of the day. I got a quote of the day. Matt Booty saying, I can't fit everything in. Holy shit. That is freaking poetry. That is poetry. That is goddamn poetry. That is Matt Booty's poetry. Matt Booty says, I can't fit everything in. Oh, man. That is some messy work. Matt Booty quotes. Matt Booty gives you entertainment for years. Hope that you know what? I don't want Matt Booty to leave because he makes content for years. Matt Booty. Oh, but that's all right. We got Ball. We got Mr. Sweaty Balls over there.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts. Watch
if they
this.
get rid of Booty, we still got a Ball. Matt Booty says it's a big show. Matt Booty Gump. I can't fit everything in. It was a big show, and there are other beats coming later this year. Mom always said. He says it's a big show. I can't fit everything in. It's a big show again. I don't know. Matt Booty just must have been stuttering. He goes, "It's a big show. I can't fit everything in. It's a big show." And there are other beats coming later this year, dude. Are there? So there's potential to hear something later. They asked him, and Matt Booty says, "There's always potential to hear more things that don't show up today." Yo, Matt Booty talking like a shit-filled fortune cookie. I don't understand it. Matt Booty, you're not slick. You're a stank ass. And why are you talking like a shit-filled fortune cookie right here? There's always potential to hear more things about things that will show up today. What? I don't understand. Oh, my God. I would be fired as an interviewer. They would fire my ass. I would be fired if I was an interviewer. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a big show. It's a big show. No, it's because it's not ready and we haven't seen shit about Blade in 2 years. Don't give me it's a big show. I could have given you 5 fucking things you could have pulled out of that show and show Blade. Just tell me the truth. You shit face. The game was not ready. The game is probably going to get canceled because you're going to shut down. Asha going to shut down the friggin' studio. And I swear, I'm going to come back to these quotes if that studio gets shut down and Blade gets canceled because Matt Booty lying right between his asshole. I would be like, what? I'm like, so it's not ready. Is that what you're saying, Matt Booty? Like, that's the next question. I can't fit everything. What? My next thing, you fit all those PlayStation 5 logos in there, Matt Booty. We spent 20 minutes on some indie, some horse shit. I could have told you we could have took out Sea of Thieves updates, Elder Scrolls updates, Flight Simulator updates. The whole middle of the show could have been eradicated. Because we don't need a show. We have room. If this person is serious, Matt Booty says there's no room for Blade in the show and proceeded to have a show with Sea of Thieves updates, Elder Scrolls Online updates, and Flight Simulator updates, all getting about like 2 or 3 minutes on each of them. Because the game's not ready. Matt Booty said no firing in February. They're gutting everybody. I don't know why they talk. I don't know why they're there. I don't know why they need a stage. I don't know why they do this, because they look foolish and they look stupid. So I don't know what the hell is going on. But Arcane is apparently a risk of closure. Let's see. People tagging me. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Follow me over on X. And I said, here you go. Remember acquisition season. Look at all those acquisitions have become. Now trying to break free before Microsoft shuts them down. Hope Microsoft does not keep their IPs. Give it back to the devs. And they're in negotiations right now. Well, yo, this is only Monday, man. This is only friggin' Monday. I don't even want to know. What's this? Oh, what's it? This is new? Studios braced for the division. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, these people. Several studios, including Compulsion, Double Fine, are in negotiations to spin off to thwart closure. Yo, I can't believe they're going to shut down Double Fine. They better spin them off. That got to be done. The studio will have an opportunity to buy themselves back from Xbox and go independent, although many employees will likely lose their jobs. The potential closures are part of a broader reorganization overseen by Asha, who's prioritizing the biggest franchise to return to growth. There you go. Yeah, exactly what was summarized there. The Xbox spokesperson not talking. So yeah, it's focusing on the big games. That's it. How big I get Angry Joe Major Nelson? Probably. Yeah, right. I wouldn't settle for that stuff. They wouldn't allow me to interview people. But what's crazy is that Satya always wanted this to happen. Phil must have glazed him for about 10 years, and Satya's like, yeah, you know what, Phil? And one thing I wanna wrap up on, and I wanted to get your guys' input on this one. I appreciate. I don't even know. Did we hit the 200 likes, man? I don't even know. This is an incredible show, and I wanted to just bring this to your attention here. Is like, let me ask you a question. Oh, wow. 10 more away. 10 more likes, please. Please hit the 10 more likes button. Let me ask you a question. This is just the beginning, Space One, and this is not the end. But I wanted to ask you, do you think, this is what I was thinking about, do you think this, at the end of last year, do you think that Phil knew this restructuring needed to happen? And he's like, I'm not going to be the one to do it. I'm retiring. And then Satya then said, okay, well, Asha, you're up here and I'm putting you here because I think you could do this. You could evaluate a business and find out how we can make money from it. Or do you think Satya wanted to do this and got rid of Phil and then Sarah? Because the thing is, I don't think Satya was smart enough to do this. He just said we got to make money. And on top of that, do you think that they basically did those 30% accountability module? Like they basically set up those studios to fail and not make money. Because the reason why I bring that up, and not to say Phil was a savior or anything like that, but I'm thinking at the end of last year, he pulled that rog out of his ass in the middle of the summer. And then he really just coasted at the end of the second half of last year. He looked run down. He didn't look enthused anymore. Sarah Bond was kind of running with the ROG ally. And Phil was really just like, he wasn't as pompous and he looked tired. And he looked just kind of cooked. Like he was just done with it. And I'm wondering if he was like, you know what, all this shit's going to hell right now. And they want me to do it. I don't know. Whether he knew that this was coming and he just didn't want to be part of it, or Satya said, we need profitable. Phil, you're not the person. I want Asha there. Because the way Asha said, the way she was hired, it sounded like Satya just said, hey, Asha, I want you there. She wasn't looking. So something happened to Satya, but I don't think Satya was smart enough with knowing this business to know like what needed to be done. So I think, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Satya was, I don't know. So Batman thinks they got fired. So you think Satya just said, hey, we need to be profitable. This is not profitable. Phil, you had 10 years. You're done. And Sarah, I don't want you there because we need somebody new to evaluate the business and shut us shit down. Yeah, I don't know. Craven says the board called Satya and told him, AI is not working. We're losing the cloud race. Windows on services are going down, and gaming is bringing too much attention to our shit. Fix it or we fix you. Craven, that sounds about that's I'll give a thumbs up to that one. Don John says Phil didn't have the heart to do what Asha's doing. I feel that. I think so. I don't think Phil. Yeah. But Phil did shut down studios, Don John. See, that's where I'm like torn. That's why I wanted to just open it up for like a wrap up discussion of like for everybody in the chat. Like, and comment down below if you listen to this on the replay and you got to this part of the chat. I'll timestamp it right here. But yeah, because I don't know. Davis thinks that he did have some idea. Do it. Josh says Satya wants Asha to be higher on the totem pole. Xbox is a stepping stone. I agree. I think, yeah, she's using this to her claim to fame. Definitely. That's why she's being as ruthless as she is. Full Sweat says, I think they have been playing console wars the last year. They have always planned to get out when this generation didn't succeed. Yeah. Jacob Davis still saying that something's wrong. Xbox was down. It was down today. During the show. So that's why, Jacob, you're probably having that problem. Silver Wolf says, this is an Asha test before she gets the position she really wants. Yeah, I agree with that. She got some sort of like, you do something, you fix this, you get money back, and you will have my job. I agree with that one. David said, it looked like it affected his health. Yeah, he just looked like he was done. They would call him like he was really thin and just really just kind of just worn out. Like he didn't have that Xbox gusto to take him into the 25th anniversary. Bill Gates still has say what Microsoft does, and Nassim says. Phil knew and needed to be done, but probably couldn't handle the backlash. See, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Phil was just like, okay, Satya, well, I'm retiring. I'm not gonna do this. I'm out of it. I'm screwed, and it kind of goes against everything that I've maybe. And Phil just said, I'm not the one to do this. Satya might said, hey, Phil, we got to make money. We're losing money. Amy the Hood says we're losing money. You need to start shutting stuff down and fix it. Now, remember, Phil did all this stuff, dude. Yeah, people were saying in the chat, Jacob, earlier. So, because Phil, he just was not into it anymore. He seemed like he was done. And everybody thought he was just handing it off to Sarah to kind of take over. That could have been it, too. But yeah. And I was reading the stuff about when Satya came on in 2014. Like, he didn't know the business. Remember, they shut down Windows Phone too early. Satya said they regretted that. They got out of Windows Phone too early because Satya wasn't familiar with that stuff. He kind of did exactly what Asha was doing. Stuff that he wasn't aware of, he kind of just like let it die or just got rid of it. And that's kind of what Asha's doing with Xbox right now. She don't really know about it. She didn't even know it existed. She's like, it comes to realize that billions of people play games. It's like, you work for Microsoft. You don't know what an Xbox is. You didn't know about the Xbox, the popular, what Xbox did for gamers. Like, you're that. It's part of your company. You know? Yeah, he was going through the emotions. He knew either Sarah was, and you know what? Because you think about all the campaigns, like everything is an Xbox and putting games on PlayStation, just play where you want. It seemed like Phil, and he always kind of said, we're trying to make Xbox sustain, live on for the next years. And even when he said just 4 games, we roast him for that stuff. But the thing is that he said this will make Xbox for the next 4 years, for the next decade, the next 25 years. Asha is not making Xbox for the next 25 years. So because also the problem with her is that what she's doing right now, again, I don't know how many fans are still fans of Asha. I don't know how you could be, because she played a good game until this.
How about those exclusives?
And then the next day, ultimatum, and now what's going on with the studios and stuff. And I know that people are going to be like, yeah, they sucked anyway. These studios sucked anyway. Asha focusing on this stuff. But you really want Xbox just to be a Call of Duty studio? Like, I really don't know how people will still follow her post-mortem of this thing. I don't know. Spick and Span with the 5. He goes, Satya has failed pretty much everything. How's this guy still employed? I don't know. I don't know how he's still employed. He's a good talker, I guess. He's a good talker, and he sounds smart, I guess. Yeah. Crooked Vulture says he knew. They have projections. He was talking about leaving by 2027, back in 23. Yeah, and he said if Xbox didn't hit those Game Pass numbers by this year, Xbox would not be around 2027. And that's the thing. Like this PC hybrid Xbox thing, like those fans sitting there begging for, excited for exclusives. What, and I say this again to close the show, right? What is an Xbox? Like, what is Xbox? What is it? Satya talks about mobile and PC, and we're back to everything as an Xbox. And it's just like they have not defined what an Xbox is. And the problem is like you have fans that they want Xbox to be what this was, you know? This is what they believe when they say back to Xbox. This. But this is not the definition. If you ask Asha, look at this picture. Is this back to Xbox? She'll be like, no. That's not my idea of what back to Xbox is. But to all those fans sitting there.
How about those exclusives?
That's what back to Xbox means. That's what it means to me, and that's what it means to a lot of people. Just do this. Why was this not good enough? I just don't understand. And it all comes from great games and great exclusives and great partnerships. You know, they didn't have to go buy all these studios. I screamed from the rooftops when they were going and buy all these studios. I'm like, you don't need to buy them. They didn't have to buy EA or Respawn to get Titanfall. They didn't have to buy Capcom to get Dead Rising 4. They didn't have to buy Crytek to get Rise. They didn't have to buy these companies. They didn't listen, you want to hear something crazy? This generation, guess what? They didn't own Gears of War. They got 3 of them. Epic owned Gears of War. Microsoft never owned Gears of War. As soon as they own it, we got Gears 4 and 5. Tells you what happens when they own it, right? Gears 1, 2, and 3, those were not Microsoft-owned studios. That was owned by Epic. And it wasn't until Epic was considering making a PlayStation version of Gears because they wanted to sell on the high install base of the PlayStation 4. And that was the thing. The console sales mattered. The PS4 install base took a lot of everything that Xbox built. But because at the end of the 360 era, Xbox was focusing more on Kinect and things that gamers really weren't gravitating to, while PlayStation was doing its own thing with great exclusive games. Last of Us, God of War 3, Last of Us there. A launch of PS4, embracing all the indies and having exclusive indie games. That was a big push at the time because getting indies on the stage was a big deal. And Xbox was they had some games, but again, their messaging, them talking about gaming and entertainment, talking about entertainment and check-ins and all the stuff that Microsoft wanted to do, because entertainment, that destroyed all their the gamers' mind share, and they lost it and never got it back. But that's what a return to Xbox was. When Asha running her mouth about return to Xbox, but that's not what she wants. Return to Xbox for her is probably a Windows 12 machine that goes under your TV. and they don't have to make and waste money. Think about it. Why would they waste money on making Xbox versions? Why would they waste money on making exclusives on a console that they really lose money on? They don't want it. So it's so horrible watching this whole thing, and franchises that we like, and that's the craziest thing. Franchises that we love, franchises that we like. That's where the problem is, you know? So grinders, all those VIPs, you're going to get a brand new song released. For you guys, I'm going to upload a bunch of songs for all the VIPs, and we'll have a balcony show. And you earned yourself a community game night for all those awesome VIPs there. And we hit over 200 likes. Thank you again, grinders. Awesome. Haven't done that. Another one. In a long time. But thank you, new viewers. Please hit that subscribe button, man. Like, this is, you know, try to deglaze the news, make it entertaining, go through it. But, man, it is really a sad, like, way that they're doing this right now. And, you know, hopefully everybody finds jobs. Hopefully they can keep those IPs and have some value, and somebody else makes a better Hellblade. But really, Microsoft just don't make games. They're not a creative company. They were told that by many people, even the late Steve Jobs. They are not creative. They're not innovative. So Satya's sitting there, we got to innovate on console. You're not innovating on anything. Because whatever you throw out there, you always have a double-edged sword. UWP, we just watched a video from 10 years ago. UWP was their Achilles heel. Dude, this is what happens. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for that discussion at the end. I didn't know, man. And I guess we'll never know. We got to wait for the Phil Spencer book. Because right now, they're just a business. And they're Soulless Corporation. And we are just getting started. So, emergency grindhouse in the books. Third emergency. I hope, well, I don't know if we're going to have a fourth emergency May. And we might have some pop-up videos. So just hit that subscribe button so you know when I go live. Because there might be some pop-up ones tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. And then you don't want to miss the community game night that you guys got for the goal today. And then we'll have a special balcony show for the VIPs where you bring the topics here. So a lot of content coming your way, music coming to the VIPs and Ultimate Grinders, and it will be awesome. So, thank you again, grinders, and give you a little sample of that music. Here we go. Brand new song, going to be going out to the VIPs, but you that stayed here to the end, you get to hear it. This is what's going on. Thanks again, grinders. Good night. Sell the Xbox. This is not good.
Yeah. Microsoft wants to sell Xbox. Too much money leaking now. Phil said 2027 could be the end, no doubt. Empty checkbooks, heavy hands. Big plans hitting the floor.
New good grindhouse music.
Like they don't want more. Turn the page, count it up. Feel that pressure in the room. One more year, one more clock. Then the verdict comes too soon. Microsoft wants to sell Xbox. Sell it, say it now. Phil said 2027. That's the line, that's the vibe. I'll say it's determined now. I'll say it's determined now.
Hit that like button, grinders. Thank you again.
Fans online go back and forth. Screens full of red and blue. Every rumor hits like thunder. Nothing feels brand new. Still the box stays in the spotlight. Still the cheddar never ends. One more shake, one more headline. Run it round again. Turn the page, count it up. Feel that pressure in the room. One more year, one more clock. Then the verdict comes too soon. Microsoft wants to sell Xbox. Sell it, say it now. Phil said 20. Terminator. Asha is the Terminator. If the door swings wide tonight, everybody hears the sound. Old king falling, new flame rising, nothing stays the same around. Say it loud, say it clear, watch it all come back around. Microsoft wants to sell Xbox, sell it, say it now. Phil said 2027, that's the line, that's the vibe. Asha is the Terminator.
Grindhouse music exclusive.
Asha is the Terminator.
How about those exclusives?
Night Grinders, we out.